We live in a world where there's no ice cream. All right. I guess we'll start as we always do with a quick recap for Zach. So anybody but Draco, who wants to give me the recap for previously on Dungeons and Dragons?
Previously on Dungeons and Dragons, we got into a lot of fights.
Yeah, and
And-
apparently you guys stripped me and made me naked and gave me new clothes because you didn't like my clothes. Yeah, I remember.
I don't remember that part.
Pretty bad. We didn't touch you, we promise.
No, but I don't remember everything. I remember the ending. So I know that I tried to steal something and it went terribly wrong. Now I have mystery coins.
We
Paused.
killed those people in the hall or in the alley, the slavers. I want to go after more of them, but we decided instead to just steal the boat. We left all the slaves in this building over here.
We took orphans and put them on the Echo and promised to pay the very angry captain in love and kisses. And then we stole this boat. Terribly. We did not do a great job at stealing it, but we're alive-ish.
Turns out we kind of make bad pirates.
Yeah.
But you have heard of me.
That's right. Yeah, these two guys still here. Are they inside or outside about to kill us?
They're
We
locked in
locked
the
them
building
inside.
with the slaves.
And technically, though it shows us in port, we have broken away from the dock and are floating out to sea.
Gotcha.
With the slaves who are rowing down below.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We
Hoppy's
took
helping them.
slaves. Yeah.
There were
It's in the
some.
video.
Draco, you
Yep.
lit one of my arrows on fire, and we lit the other ship on fire so they couldn't follow us.
And then you guys almost killed me.
Well, yeah,
Well-
that's our purpose in life.
Bad guys.
Oh yeah, that guy killed me.
You did get skull fucked by a Etten called the Half Brother, whose second head was just a rotted, dehydrated skull, and he came up out of the ship's cargo hold. You just happened to be right there, and
It just happened to happen.
he thumped you pretty good. I'm not going to say it's the responsibility of the person who was piloting you, but it definitely was.
Hey, I saved your life. After I
Hey,
almost killed
I
you.
saved his life.
I was going to say, like, is that the same thing though? As if you hit somebody with a car and then give them CPR, did you save their life, or did you just undo the damage you created?
How
I mean,
else would we have
I would
known
just
that he
like to
had
say-
rabies?
Meg made Draco look really cool. Okay, so not saying Zach doesn't, but
And then Fire Guy teleported you away to safety. You were totally fine. I had the whole situation under control.
I watched the video. You did. You took care.
All right.
totally under control.
Yep.
Ugh. We're exaggerating this morning.
Control's relative. We had a little bit of a heart-to-heart with Sari. I think is the only major
Oh, yeah.
point we didn't necessarily discuss here in the recap. But if Zach, you watched the thing, then you know what they discussed.
Yeah.
Cool. Other order of business, inspiration token. Who, by show of hands, is worthy of our inspiration token from last session? Who did the best or worst job?
What did Amon do? Really?
What does
Nothing.
Vermont do any?
Oh,
Rude.
Caleb, are you gonna take that?
Rude.
Ouch.
Were this a movie, he had a very cinematic duel with the pirate captain on the forecastle of the ship.
Mhm.
He
Which,
did actually.
It was a
He
lot. It
kicked
was a
ass.
lot of back and forth. Like there was no like immediately one guy, one or the other. So it would have been a very cinematic back and forth
Mhm.
I say Amon.
duel.
Yeah.
He didn't get to kill him, which kind of sucked. And then
Yeah.
Hoppy, I think, threw him over the side of the ship, pile driver style. But like for a moment there, he was Errol Flynn.
But does
There you go.
Amon have
And
an
I was like
inspiration
full
token?
stealing fucktard. Oops.
Got some blood, baby.
Do you have an inspiration token there, Amon?
I do not.
Done.
I would gladly
There you
take
go.
one. If I can't fight with my sword, at least I can be inspired to shoot things with my bow.
There you go.
Well,
All
and
right.
he also off tanked because I was stuck with a bunch of dudes up here,
Mhm.
and Meg was doing the Etten, so he had a critical role there.
Yep.
All right.
And he
Remember
talked
video on?
sense into sorry.
True.
Gonna get
That
a
was-
cease and desist because Mark said critical
My
role.
big role playing.
Oh.
All right. We'll pick up here, sort of on our way out of the shipping slip here. You had slaves in the bottom of the ship. You haven't really explored it at all, but you just yelled down to them that we have to get out of port immediately, and they sort of read the room quickly and decided it was better to row than face your potential wrath, not knowing that you probably won't kill them, but they don't know that. You guys are now maybe 200 or 300 yards outside the port of Sadis, heading for open ocean. The world is your oyster. Is there anything you want to do immediately before I begin sort of my narrative and start our day?
I just gotta say, I feel I'm overdressed. I need a tank top.
Serious. Didn't realize it was going to be like a wife beater showcase.
I'm a big fan of a man in a tank top, so, and I know everyone is in my world because I'm the main character, so please.
Nice.
I'm just a mon in a tank top.
Nice. No, I don't think of anything we need.
You know, like healing.
Short
Well,
rest?
besides
I-
that, I'll start
I'm
working on my
hoping
healing
for-
as we go
I
on
am
out.
hoping we can do a short rest now that we're on here. I'd love a long rest, but I don't know how long our journey is because I have no more walls of shield. And I'm going to use a hit die if we do a short rest.
I like walls of shield.
Yeah, walls of shield.
I think that's a great way to.
Turn napping.
Well, that's one thing I need to
I'm-
check how many spells I have left.
Oh, I assume
like
not
0, like -2 maybe. You know that potion that you were
playing casters.
Mhm.
She's like,
Um,
"Ooh, what's this one? A level 3? Yeah, I'll use that."
Mhm.
He's got 2 more.
Yeah, totally.
Those are supposed to last him the whole day. Oh, well, he doesn't have them now.
So, do we
I got
know?
a few.
I'm helping row the boat. Do you guys want to search the boat?
Ooh, yes, yes, we do.
Pretty good
I'll head
idea.
to the captain's quarters.
We'll put our our best thief on it.
I would be curious about the Etten quarters too.
Come on. Here I go. Searching. I search like this in case you're wondering.
Mm-hmm. This is what it sounds like when Michelle has the microphone away from her head. But I love that this is Thieves' Tools.
I'm actually talking through Caleb's mic,
Oh, that's even better.
so I'm being very loud.
I'm sure your neighbors appreciate that.
I hate them.
I'm sure they appreciate that. All right. Going down below decks, can I get either by a show of hands on stream or by the number 1 in chat, like who wants to go below deck and begin sort of searching the boat? The ship, excuse me, it's not a boat.
I will after I heal myself up a little
Everybody?
bit because I
We
gotta.
could probably do a short. John, what's the order of operations here? Are have we escaped?
The other boat is on fire. There are rowboats in the harbor, but they're not going to catch you, and you're 600 feet off the thing. You have effectively escaped. You're still within like catapult range of Sidis if someone were to find a siege weapon, but that seems unlikely. If you decided that you forgot something, you could easily turn around. We're not quite in like open ocean yet. We're not outside the 4-mile, statutory limit, but we are effectively escaped from this particular battle map. Yes.
Okay, and so I no longer need to assist with the. Do we have? Are we going to take a short rest before we search, or search before the short rest, or doesn't matter?
That's up to you guys. The short rest requires
We
an hour approximately of downtime,
We should.
which is fine if we're just getting out of harbor. But
We should probably search it first to make sure that there not something horrible waiting for us during our short rest.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, then I'm going to.
You're rowing the boat. That's
Yeah,
what you're
well, I
gonna
was gonna-
do.
I'm not gonna row the damn boat the whole time.
He's with the slaves. So, Mark, you're already down there. You could just go and check out that level that you're on.
I'm gonna talk to the slaves and see if there's anything interesting about the boat. If there's anything that they need, where the food is, what we can provide them for their assistance here.
okay. I would like you to make a persuasion check because you're very intimidating, and these people are. Well, they've kind of just been beaten down. You know what I mean? Like it's tough. You're still covered in the blood of their captors. You're a giant, imposing Minotaur man, and you're like, "Tell me about the boat."
So
They are a little terrified of you. It takes a significant amount of coaxing for any of them to even make eye contact with you. You get the impression like a softer touch might be required. They
softer touch.
they tell you
Come
that there's a whole nother level below this one, and that there are sections both fore and aft of where you are presently. Ship is very large, I guess is the point I'm trying to make. There's storage capacity, mostly for slaves on the ship. It was built. The ship's name is the Payday. I don't know if we discussed that. The Payday was designed to be a slave hauling vessel, so a lot of it at this point is just sort of empty. What would have been like, I don't want to call it crew quarters. Steerage is maybe more appropriate, and those are large empty spaces. But there would be like non-slave storage areas on the ship, as well as the captain's quarters, a couple of other small rooms. The Payday. Yeah, definitely worth exploring. They do, of course, warn you of the octowiener of infinite Minotaur raping in the bottom of the cargo hold.
Oh my god. Zach's laugh.
Okay. I'm gonna stop rowing for now, and I'm gonna go and assist with the search.
As you stop rowing, some of the other slaves look at each other and look to you, and like maybe 2 of the 6 also stop rowing, and then like they look
back and say no.
Like they weren't sure if that was like a we're done now, or just you're done now, and are you their boss now?
I am your boss now. I will make you a saddle for the other shoulder.
I am your daddy.
All right. Shooting them the evil glare, since they are already significantly intimidated by you, they go back to rowing immediately. You don't even have to. There's no threat. There's just the implication of what might happen if you were unhappy with them, because of the implication. And they go back to rowing. By the time you're ready to start exploring the rest of the boat, you see Renan and Amon have descended below deck and kind of run into you. It looks like Draco and Oni are still at the top of the deck. Draco, you wanted to heal yourself. Oni, you said you wanted to stay on top and make sure nobody boarded you or that there was no unintended shenaniganery.
I'm looking for the captain's quarters because that's where the goods are, baby.
Baby!
This is a smuggler ship, so I'm going to take out my Felite special because there is probably bolt holes.
All right. Let's as the three of you meet sort of at the mid deck section, this was the kind of, it's the middle of the boat. It's the cargo hold that held Half Brother before he ascended. From here, so it's, you guys are kind of in this area here, having taken the steps down into this cargo area. You can go forward to the fore section of the ship or backward to the aft section of the boat, and there are stairs that scallop down to the third level of the ship. You guys can tell me if you want to go fore or aft on level 2 or descend to level 3. Level 2 is where the rowers are. It's where Half Brother was kept.
Let's go down. I'd like to go from the
No.
bottom up.
Bottom up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we just stick our nose into the other areas to make sure there aren't any people?
And like always, I'm checking for traps. Just
Mhm.
making sure nothing's going to kill me.
Everybody below deck, can I get a perception roll for each of you? That'll just sort of be your general on pointedness while we explore the vessel.
Can
First roll of the
I
day,
not?
baby!
My oh yeah.
Oh.
It's going to be a good day.
No
I
surprises.
don't know why
apparently.
advantage.
All right. Yeah, everybody's head on a swivel. Probably still sort of focused from all the adrenaline coursing through your veins from the last fight. Searching the rest of this mid deck, like Hoppy wanted to do, not extensively, but just kind of clearing rooms. The aft section of the boat seems to be where all of the food storage is: fresh water, meats, dried grains. Just like you'd expect on a vessel that was made to make long overseas voyages. This is supposed to be food and water for 60 to 80 people. Definitely more stores than you'll need to make your journey, which is good because I don't think anybody thought about that.
Relax, DM. Jeez.
Chillax on your face.
We should probably give some extra to the rowers to show that we are nice. But somebody else should do that because they don't like me.
And now
I
that
don't
we're
know why.
unplugged from shore power, the freezer is gonna let all the ice cream melt, so we should probably eat that first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The fourth section of level 2 is a very makeshift series of straw beds in sequence. This could be slave sleeping area. It could also just be like low-ranking members of the crew's quarters. Some of the beds smell urine-soaked. It smells like a teenage boy's locker room, where there's just
Gross.
it's just awful. And the starboard side of the fore section is a de facto armory. It's just lined with grappling hooks for boarding, long spears, long bows, and scimitars. Nothing remarkable, nothing that strikes you as being like a master craftsman's, work of true art. Nothing that appears to be magical. Just a row of mundane weapons used to, repel boarders or conquer another ship on the open seas. From here, you have only the third level to explore. Renan, whilst Hoppy was trudging around, just sort of doing, a room clear one by one, you are waiting by the staircase that descends to the third level of the ship, and you hear the sound of rustling beneath you, and you ask the slaves to stop rowing for just a moment, and even once they've stopped, you can hear the sound of multiple, let's say, people moving around. You can't tell what they're doing, but you can just hear bodies in motion. You know what I mean? You can hear boards creaking. You can hear things being dragged or shuffled about. No communication, but you can just hear that sound of not necessarily silent movement, but maybe somebody's doing their best version of trying to be quiet, but you heard them.
Is there light? If I peek down, can I see anything?
It is very dark. The third
Yeah.
level, except for probably the captain's quarters, has no windows, and so sun bleached from the top of the deck here. It's hard because you're going into an almost pitch black environment. Renan doesn't have dark vision, correct? She's not a variant human.
I have blue light special out, so I should have some light. But I'm sorry, on the bottom floor that we know of so far, there's a hold, there's the captain's quarters. Is that it?
No, we don't know.
We don't know. You haven't found the captain's quarters yet, and the schematic of the ship would likely put the captain's quarters somewhere in the aft section, so he may have moved it to the bottom floor. I think normally it would be closer to the top, but in this circumstance, not so much the case.
Okay.
But it seems like
Was
anything
there-
of interest is happening below you on the third deck.
Okay. Is there anything on the top deck? Any spaces that we need to clear or anything like that?
We did not really clear when we finished the fight. There were boxes and crates on the top deck. We
go back.
secured. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do this in
yeah,
order.
well-
So
Yeah. I
Let-
just wanted to make sure there weren't any rooms. I'm trying to take notes on that ship, so I wanted to make sure there weren't any rooms up there, like the captain's quarters or something.
No, there are no. There's like the. Oh my god, what do they call it? Like the forecastle. It's a small like dry bay here. Usually there'd be like a meeting hall, or people would keep navigational tools and maps and stuff in that. It's like a small outdoor closet, basically. Is the only room that would be accessible from the top deck. So if you want to go back up there, we have that forecastle cabin, and then all of the boxes and crates on the ship's deck proper.
I'd like to just keep my eye out for maps and books, general
nerd.
educational things.
We can go down whenever you're ready. Sorry, John. Thank you for explaining.
Of course, yeah.
I've made a torch.
Is the plan then to descend to the third level?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just want to make sure I was on the same page as everybody else.
I'm going to hand the torch to Amon, and I'm going to creep down into the dark as he is right behind me, hopefully to go unnoticed to whatever is down there. My plan is to be stealthy.
Okay, Renan, can I get a stealth check from you?
I mean, I just had this feeling you were going to ask me that. I don't want to brag,
Nice.
But you're gonna.
pop my collar.
Camera's off. We can't see it.
My
Oh, yeah,
camera's
if you-
totally on.
If you legitimately popped your collar, we missed that.
What the?
And then she's gone. The way down the stairs is narrow. Like maybe this was not always intended to be like accessible easily or often by crew. It's a very steep staircase that's closer to a ladder than it is a set of stairs. And you plunge immediately into sort of darkness. You can see a few pillars of light from where this subdeck might be accessible from the other side of the ship. So you're looking through like 120 feet of darkness, but you can see two portholes of light at the end. So there's like a similar staircase entrance or exit from the other side of the vessel. But in between, it's kind of just inky blackness. You're seeing, small areas where light sheds a little bit of clear visibility, but you're sticking to the shadow so that you yourself are not seen. You manage to descend the staircase silently. There's none of that creaky wooden old boat sound that you were hoping to avoid. Once you get to the base of the stairs, the space is as wide as the top of the deck is. It's a pretty large cargo hold, almost 20 feet across by the length of the ship. Two things of note when you get down here. You can hear that scurrying sound far more pronounced than you did before. From your vantage, every once in a while, you can see shadowy figures crossing port to starboard, like across the light being cast at the other end of the ship. So sort of like shadowy figures moving in front of or behind a spotlight. You can't really tell who or what they are, but you can see bodies in motion. And there's a very noticeable, very pungent smell of lamp oil that you notice right away as soon as you hit that bottom deck.
Lamp oil. Oh my god, am I about to get fucking killed by zombies? Oh, my nightmare.
Welcome to my nightmare.
Okay, I'll go back up the stairs and just say something is definitely down there and pacing, and it smells like lamp oil. So apparently, maybe we don't bring the torch down here so we don't blow up. But also, I don't know how we
Like,
see these
yeah.
things.
I could easily come down and see everything. Oni
Yes,
and I
torch
both,
boy.
Oni and
Yeah.
I both can see in the dark.
I'll go up to the top and ask them to come down. They're better at seeing in the dark.
What say you, Oni and Draco?
Sure, let's go.
I'll go-
I'm feeling better now.
I don't
Um,
want to leave the top completely untended, so I
No,
will.
Mhm.
I'll stay at the top.
Okay, I'll come down. Then.
Mm,
Okay. We could also leave Sari up there.
yeah, let's leave
but-
Sari up there because we need our fighters. Actually,
She's-
but Sari's not to be
Yeah,
trusted.
she's not to be trusted. We need one of our people up there. Not that she's not one of our people.
It kind of sounds like what you said, though.
I mean, that is literally what you said.
I just want to know what she's up to. So someone
Does
needs
it?
to stay.
Can
with her.
anybody make light? Do we have a light person? Not fire, light.
Yes.
Not fire. Not
Only-
fire.
I produce flame in my hand and I can walk around.
Not fire.
You could
Light.
just
I
conjure
go out
that.
I
instantly.
think my dread helm makes light, but I don't think you want that.
Fire guy
What's
makes
that?
light.
My
dread
guy
helm?
is light. Come
Oh,
on.
the blue light special.
No, I've got.
We don't want the blue light special.
I have a helm that makes me look like a. It was the special thing that I started with. It doesn't have any real function. It just makes my head look demonic and makes light.
Yeah, let's go down to the creepy closet and look like demons.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Because everybody knows demons beat zombies.
Obviously.
All right.
It's
I'm
like
trying to
rock, paper,
see-
scissors.
We have a
Good.
black light torch.
To be clear, the torch
I don't-
won't like it's not fire, so I don't think it will burn things. If you're worried about that, I think the blue light special is a fine option. I don't
Yeah.
think Draco knows the light cantrip.
Well, the
I
thing
don't
is,
think
though,
so
I still
either.
got to,
Thank you for knowing what I was talking about. I was like, this is a thing. I don't know this game
can still
inside and
produce
out.
Flame, and it sheds light around 10 feet. I can have it hover. Once I put it out, it goes out. It doesn't have to, I don't have to set something on fire.
Let's just use
Hey,
the blue light
Amon, don't you
special.
have a ring of X-ray vision? Can you X-ray down there and see what you see?
I mean, I'll
Yes.
see through stuff.
It's
If
pretty
there's
dark.
bones, you'll see bones.
Not if it's dark.
Doesn't
Weird,
someone
I'll
have a
use that.
potion of invisibility?
I'll use my ring of X-ray vision. That's fine. I
I'm
think we
gonna
should still
produce
use
a
the blue light
flame and walk
special.
on down. Flame in
You're
my
an
hand.
idiot. You just want to die. I just feel like your goal in life is to die.
My name
But
is
I mean,
not Amon.
I'm not
Come
going to
on.
stop you.
All right.
I still think we should use the blue light special because they're pirate thieves and there might be some stuff to read around.
Yeah. Does somebody want blue light special?
I'll take it. I'll give it back to you, Hoppy. I promise. I'm a good girl. I'm not a good girl.
So
Doesn't-
we had a lot of ideas all at once, so I want to parse it down a little bit. Renan has been able to come and go from the cargo hold silently. If anybody else wants to enter, they will also have to make a stealth check. Before that happens, is there a world where Renan, you want to go down and do any more investigating, knowing that you know how to come and go silently?
Yeah, I think I'd like to. So I've told them what's happening, and I say, give me a few more minutes. I'd like to see if I can get close enough to whatever it is to be able to tell. Because I was just sort of at the foot of the stairs. So maybe I'm trying to get a little closer to be able to see what these creatures are. Well, Hoppy is very ambitious.
Hoppy's ready to fight.
On
Oh.
deck. It's-
Utilizing the same stealth check you made before, you step where you stepped previously. You silently descend back into that world of, shadows again. You wait, and again, you just see, every so often a couple of just like humanoid forms just sort of cross across that distant pinpoint of light, shuffling port to starboard and back.
Okay,
I'd
I have
like
another
you, from
idea.
this position, make a second perception roll. I don't normally ask for that, because your 27 is exceptional, but this is unique to this downstairs area specifically, and I'd just like to see if you could catch it. Very cool.
Uh-oh.
The smell of lamp oil is still there. There's something about one of the people's shadows that walked in front of you makes it look larger than a normal person, and it's got like sort of a hunched back and small little nubby ears. It looks like a demented stuffed animal, almost, is like your first thought of like
Weird.
some kind of weird stuffed animal nightmare amalgamation. You put that
Okay,
out of
I
your
would
mind,
like.
though. At the base of the stairs behind you, so you came down like a ladder step, there's a wall about 2 feet behind you that's sort of the bulkhead. On it, however, there is a stone inset into the wall in a circular sconce that has 2 positions: upright this way, like 180 degrees straight up and down, and it looks like it can be set to 90 degrees, parallel to the floor. It's a
Oh, I
highly
want to touch it
polished
so
stone.
bad.
Looks kind of like a worry stone, and it's in a roughly teardrop shape. So the teardrop kind of points this way, and right now it's pointing
Okay,
straight.
I would like to take something out of my pack and as far away from myself as I can, I'd like to just throw it to see what happens when there's a sound at the far end away from me. And I'd like to do this from the base of the stairs.
Okay. Give me a strength or dexterity check, whichever you're going to be more comfortable with, to throw an item. I just want to see like what kind of distance we can get here.
Okay, not a lot. Going well for me.
Mm-hmm.
Sure,
You do like one of those like
it's hard to throw.
really good overhand throws, but like you forgot that you're in like a very cramped quarter, so like it was a hell of a throw, but it just kind of like hit the top of the ship like right after release, and it kind of chunk bounces all over the walls and floor. It was gonna be a great throw, but you just clip the top of the roof first. It makes it maybe 15-20 feet ahead of you. All of the noise of motion stops immediately, and you hear something almost cackle laugh. It sounds hauntingly like a hyena. The shapes
No!
start moving back and forth very, very quickly. You can hear the sounds of weapons being drawn from sheaths, and then there's just dead, eerie silence.
Are these gnolls? What is happening?
Am I at the top of the stairs?
I want to know what these are.
You are.
Can she calm me down?
Can I tell? Do I have any idea about how many creatures are in here now that I've been kind of observing for a few minutes?
You've noticed, like, it's hard to tell whether like back and forth is the same thing many times or multiple things, but at any given time you've seen as many as 3 things kind of making that intersection against that distant light. Could be many more, but at least like you've snapshotted at least 3 figures intersecting at the same time.
I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna say, guys, this is what I've seen. The creepy things have little hornies. Nope, that was the wrong word to use. Little horns. And when they heard a noise, they pulled out weapons. So whatever's down here, we're gonna have to fight. And how you doing? Does anybody need a little resty, a little nappy before we clear this room? 'Cause don't go in weak, Draco.
Hey, I'm at 36 hit points now. I'm feeling good. Ready for
That's
a fight.
more than I have.
That's
Yeah.
35 more than
Okay,
you
so
I'll see.
so I'm telling y'all that's what's down there. What do you think we should do?
Let's go
I'm-
introduce
I'm-
Going about
ourselves.
talking to them.
I mean,
We could go introduce ourselves.
yeah,
Hey,
we have
you know,
commandeered
we're the
the
new
ship.
captains.
We have to.
I will
have
certainly-
control.
Yeah, but let's like from the top of the stairs be like, "Hi, we're not here to hurt you," and see what happens. Because maybe they'll come up to us and we won't have to go down to them.
Exactly, and we get a nice narrow channel that we can see them on the stairs. So if we got to
That's my
kill them, we
thing.
can kill them.
Let's see if we can get them up
So
to us
the
rather than
channel-
us go down to the dark.
So the bad part of this is if they're trying to set fire to the boat with the lamp oil.
But it kills
then-
themselves.
Well, yeah, but it would also destroy the boat. And that might be more important to them.
Yeah, I kind of
So-
want to go down and see what I can see with my dark
Just
vision.
just do it. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, you have dark vision?
I do have dark vision. I think I'd like to
Yes,
just
please
go
do that.
down and see what I can see. I'm still okay if you want to holler, but I do think it's
I'm just a
best.
big fan of doing this stupid thing, so let's go with your plan.
Yay! Okay, I'm going downstairs. I'm going
All
into the dark,
The
and
implication there was that my plan was stupid and yours wasn't.
the dark is going to, enfold me as I walk away, and they can no longer see me.
I would like you to make a stealth check.
So
I don't
stealthy.
need to be stealthy.
No.
I'm like Nils stealing an office chair down the hallway.
Yeah. There's like no attempt is made. At a 6, I would think you have made zero effort even to be hidden or surreptitious about any of this.
Hmm.
Walking down into the hold of the ship, you can see against the bulkhead of the ship to your right as you descend, you see the same kind of circular panel inset on the wall that has a teardrop shaped, highly polished stone. Looks like it's touched often or a lot because it's been worn down to like a mirrored polish, kind of like a worry stone. It's currently perpendicular position, but it looks like frequently you can see stress lines where it's turned parallel.
Do I
Often enough
recognize
that it's-
what kind of stone it's made from?
Without touching it, you would have to assume probably quartz, something that's meant to be resilient. It could be granite, but you don't think so.
And this is at the very end, and I'm assuming or can see or hear people on the other side of the wall.
So I was in the middle of narrating. That's what's like in your immediate vicinity, with that stone being to your left. Looking ahead of you, you can see 2 sets of upright columns to support the weight of the decks above. Beyond that, you can see a series of barrels that have been set up and laid over on their sides, almost like a barricade, an impromptu palisade to be hid behind. Behind them, you can see a pair of eyes looking at you, and what looks like the bent bow of a crossbow saddled on top of one of the barrels. On the right side of the ship, the starboard side of the ship from your perspective now, there are 3 wine cask barrels that are full of lamp oil. That's what you suspect the smell is coming from, that have been stacked right up against the wall of the ship. And there's like a mop that has been used to coat the floor and the walls and the ceiling of this level in a broad circle in that lamp oil. Behind it, you can see 2 men in chainmail armor who have drawn swords and are waiting. Like they think they're in the shadows behind the shadow that's being cast by those bulkhead uprights, but you can very clearly see them. They probably don't know you have dark vision, but to you, they're standing in broad daylight, just like, shh, we're gonna get her. And then behind them, at the very limit of your dark vision, you can see a few more armored Sons of the Seven. Looks like they're guarding doorways. Like there are 2 doors at the other end of the ship that they seem to be standing in guard of. And you can't see a shape, but you can see 2 glowing red eyes about 7 feet off the ground at the very end of your dark vision. You can't even see the silhouette of the form, but whatever small light is there is being reflected in some creature's eyes, and they are very reflective red and almost 7 feet off the ground.
Hey, the big boy.
Its head likely brushing the top of the cargo hold's ceiling.
Okay. And they're just standing there quietly, probably thinking I can't see them.
Right, like in their mind, you're walking into an ambush.
Okay. So I'm going to stop where I am. I'm going to make it a point to look around and then just say, I've commandeered this vessel. Are you planning to blow it up?
There's 5, 10, 15 seconds of silence, and then in like a chortling cackle voice, "Not your ship."
I think it's Knowles. That's what I'm going with.
Then whose ship is it?
Belongs to Captain Ripper.
Ripper is dead.
Uh-oh.
Then all
Don't
you've
say that. They're
captured
going to light
is a
that shit on
tomb.
fire.
Then it shall bury us both. Come out of the shadows. I tire of your nonsense.
Go.
You know I can see you. Hello.
All right, I'm gonna move everybody to a map. Those without dark vision will have to adjudicate some things, but hang tight. And here we go. It's very long. So you may
That's
have
what
to
she said.
adjust to the northern section of the map.
Oh, it's a party. This is gonna be a party.
Because
I can't see them.
make sure you're all the way. There shouldn't be dynamic lighting, I don't think, because I had planned on not using that element here. So just make sure you're at the northern section of the map.
Ooh, a lot of them. Dear God, we're going to die.
Only if they want to fight us.
Because Oni has started by calling out, calling down the thunder, let's have everybody roll initiative and we can decide actions in turn order that way. Mark, feel free to roll again, but I had to reset it because otherwise we wouldn't see your initiative on this turn. If you roll less than a 13, I'll make it a 13.
That's fine. Michelle, stop wasting crits.
Talk shit about you guys having hit points, and I should have taken a short rest.
I needed a short rest, but we don't know what would have happened during our short rest.
That's the best tool I think I have in my DM toolbox is the what if.
I feel like while we're all resting is when we would have been captured and imprisoned.
Or just smell a burning ship.
Right.
Or
We
smell a
needed to do
burning
it this
ship.
way.
All right, let's get these going here.
John, I think you're okay taking the 3 because I'm going to have to come down anyway. So
I just wanted fair to be fair. You already rolled initiative because you sent it, you smelt it coming, and you weren't wrong. I just didn't, for mechanical reasons. If I leave your initial roll there, everybody won't be able to see it once I move it to the new page because the initiative tracker is specific to the page it's on. So I didn't want to take your roll away from you. That's not fair. But
Hoppy,
I
the faster
just saw
you
the
get down
turn
here, the
order.
better.
came up. Okay. All right.
all right, Mathis is in trouble. Renan, it's your turn first. You roll your eyes because you work so hard to maintain that stealth, and you just hear Oni call people out, and like you just know like your sister sometimes has just got the one speed, and you know exactly where this is going. Like every gladiatorial match, like every bar fight ever. You've got her back, maybe.
I definitely will sneak down. I would like to stay hidden as much as possible.
Since we haven't lit anything, that shouldn't be a problem.
Well, you say that, but now I have to roll.
Someone needs to turn the little thing on the wall. That'll give us lights.
I swear to God, Draco, if you turn that thing, I will kill you myself.
You know he's going to.
Just like, wait, there's people on the ship that can tell us what it is. We don't always just have to touch the butt. You're like the octopus from Nemo.
You got all that chance before my turn for it to happen.
Mhm.
You know, I'm at the very bottom of the list. They even go before I go. Just saying.
So I would
Countdown to
just,
doom.
I would like to stealthily move down until I feel Oni.
Ooh.
And then, oh wait, if I move, can I delay my action?
You can delay an action, yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Then I would like to delay an action until one of them comes within 5 feet of me.
And your intention is to attack them?
And then I would like to kill them ruthlessly.
Ooh.
Unless they're just here to talk. Yes, that's my stipulations.
Okay.
And I'm going to whisper into Oni's ears, try turning them to our side first. Because she's bad at that.
Mhm.
But I'm here now.
Right. So, like, full disclosure, you were both kind of standing behind a font of sunlight because the stairs are right behind you that lead to an area where the sun is entering the ship. So you both are kind of like silhouetted against a down can spotlight. This thug makes a heavy crossbow attack against Oni. I don't have advantage,
No, he doesn't.
but I'm guessing a 10 misses.
Yep.
It's so inaccurate or so slow you can kind of catch the bolt out of the air and just break it in the one hand, hoping to turn them away with some intimidation. You only look to the extent of your dark vision, and two more of those guys come crashing down out of the darkness, move to there, and they will each take a shot with their crossbow at you. Does the 18 match?
18 hits. Yep.
That's 9 points of piercing damage. You try to grab another arrow to show them off, and then one hits you right in the arm, and now it's game on. You do see Oni and Renan from your perspective. The guys that I'm labeling now as red and blue are wrapping that same mop with a length of linen cloth, and you can see them striking some kind of flint and steel that's generating sparks.
I don't see blue. Oh, there. Okay, sorry.
That's our target, guys.
Yep.
Maybe not use flame seed.
Or
Magic
any
stone.
flames.
I got other tricks up my sleeves.
Like magic stones.
It's your turn.
It
You'll
is a
see.
month's turn.
All right, I'm going to move down into position. After hearing the ruckus begin to start, and I'm going to fire a shot at, say, green.
No. Red or blue.
Red or blue.
We established that as a team.
Yeah, sorry.
Does Amon
I did
have
hear
dark
that.
vision?
He does not. So he gets down there and goes,
You can see, like,
So
when they strike their flint and steel, like it's casting moments of illumination. You can make an attack roll against them, but it will be made at disadvantage. Similarly to everyone else who has come down the stairs, but you are on that side now, directly adjacent to you on the wall on this side of the map here, is that highly polished teardrop-shaped stone inset in the circular panel that's currently pointing straight up and down, but has easily and frequently been turned parallel.
Excellent.
what do you guys think?
No, it's your turn.
Turn it.
You keep bringing it up.
I'm gonna turn it.
To turn it.
I'm
It
gonna
could
turn
be
it.
certain death.
I'm gonna flip the switch.
Okay. The highly polished stone easily turns, there's like a small bit of mechanical tension to it, but once it hits perfectly parallel to the floor, it like snaps inset into place with a gratifying click. And a voice says, "Self-destruct sequence initiate." I'm just kidding. The
We can get there in a dinghy.
4 small motes of light start to form on the dial itself, going from like the tear bulb shape of it to the tip of it, and it just sort of emerge from the dial and go to the 4 corners of the room, creating 30 feet of like mini sunlight basically down in these lower holds. The ship is now entirely illuminated.
Now I can shoot people.
You see it and you shoot. Shoot.
You have a bonus action and you
Yeah, it was
have
like-
a move action.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wasn't sure if that was my action or not.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Bonus
I
action
don't
shoot.
really have. I don't have much in the way of bonus actions. My character kind of sucks in that regard.
Okay. Do you want to move anywhere?
Recover or tackle. Oh, tackle.
Is
Run for
there-
tackle.
Is there cover near these stairs that I can see?
You could be behind the stairs, like if you just want to put yourself either like on the steps here or whatever. We could say that you're sort of like hiding behind them for cover if you like.
All right. Yeah, I'll be hiding ish as much as I can.
Mhm.
Try and stay out of sight.
This is a slightly imperfect map. It had exactly the features that I want to, except ignore this staircase that goes down because this is the bottom level, and ignore these cargo access stairs that go down. Like this is the 2nd tier of a ship, but I wanted it as the 3rd tier of my ship, so there are no stairs down, only stairs up. It is Hoppy's turn. You're at the top of the deck, Hoppy. What do you want to do?
How long is it going to take me to get to the bottom?
You could be like where your character is at the top of the steps here, or all the way to the bottom. I would say
This
with a
is
full
30.
turn. Like, but he's on the top deck.
Oh, I see.
So I think if you take your whole turn, you can end here, at the base of the steps next to him.
Okay, can I try and intimidate them? Say anybody who's doesn't want to die can get off the drop their weapon, and we'll let you go.
I'm gonna say not this turn. I love that as a bonus action next turn, but you used all of your, I think.
But I
Zim
have
and
the
Nick
extra.
as far as you are.
I have
You
the
have what?
extra 10 feet of speed.
All right. I like it. Make the intimidation check.
Can I do it with strength?
I'm sorry.
Can I do it with strength? Because
No,
that's
'cause
the
you can't.
way I intimidate.
You can't exert any like you can't grab
Okay.
them or anything. So I'm gonna say not this time. Like if you can put hands on somebody, I love intimidation with strength, but it's hard to be like I'm gonna choke you like this, brother, because it just comes off like a. Okay, I'm gonna write that number down. Oni, it's your turn. Hoppy came barreling down the stairs, nearly breaking them as he ran down, and then he does like his Hulkamania is gonna run rampant on you, brother.
Okay, so these are fuel barrels,
Yes.
and this is also a fuel barrel.
That looks more like a food store or a water barrel that's just been sort of placed there as cover.
But I don't know if it's got food or water in it, because I was thinking we could try to dilute the fuel, which would make it harder to light. And I see this guy.
You do.
Okay. And what's happening with these guys back here?
I don't know if you'd be able to actually see them or not.
Are they in rooms, like cells?
Yeah, they're in rooms behind these doors that are
Okay.
like crossed iron hatched
Sorry.
cell doors.
I just wanted to try to get an idea of what was happening.
Mhm.
And is oh, go ahead.
As predicted, this guy is a gnoll. He's a Tatarak that is, a human hyena hybrid,
Okay.
and appears to be like, maybe the first mate to Captain Ripper.
Hey.
Yeah. Okay. Is it possible for me to move into this space in between this guy and the barrels?
Not without somebody forcing him to move.
Okay.
There is no space between him and the barrels, and you can't end your turn in an enemy square. So unless someone could force movement red, you can't get between him and the barrels.
And I can't like run into him and topple him backwards into blue.
You can. It's a grapple check.
Okay.
You would need 2 actions though, because like one grapples, and then the second action would be to knock him prone or push him back 5.
Okay. Then attack it is.
Okay. Your character's not really built for grappling. She's built for
Nice.
killing.
How about that for a crit? Let's see what the crit does before I roll anything else.
Yes, please. We get in trouble otherwise.
An 18
Oh my
damage
God.
seems good.
This is actually really hysterical. You are able to maneuver towards your opponent while attacking and attempt to harass them. After your attack, you can choose to attempt to grapple your opponent if you have a free hand, or shove them if both hands are in use.
Shove!
Tailor-made for what you were trying to accomplish.
Yep!
Um,
On his ass into the blue guy.
Make an athletics check. I'll give you advantage because it's based off of a crit.
Okay. $19.
Oh, that is
Are you kidding me?
bullshit.
I'd say I'll use my inspiration, but 19 was a really high roll.
Yep. I am so sorry for the cinematic failure of that. This guy
Wow,
has his
way
friend
to ruin the rule of cool.
totally.
Rule
Totally.
of uncool.
It's so cool for me.
Yeah.
You basically like do a flying crane kick at this guy, and he just goes, Psh, nah. His friend's got both of his shoulder blades backed up, and he's not budged at all.
Does the does the 16 hit?
Unstoppable force.
Because I
versus
still have 2 more
immovable
attacks on
object.
him. Now it's personal.
Yes, I agree. How much was the first set of damage? 18. You kill him with the second attack.
Great. Now
Red's dead, baby.
I'm turning around to blue. Oh, 12 doesn't hit. I would guess.
I have to check. It does hit.
Mm-hmm. And I am now standing on this guy's corpse.
Yes,
In between blue and the barrels.
that is correct. And he's wounded.
Was Red holding the flint?
Yeah, the striker.
Great, so that's on the ground now. I don't need to worry about that.
Well done. Sorry your amazing push attempt was ruined by like superhuman American Gladiator.
Hey, it's cool.
Bum ba dum bum 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 bum.
If he had just taken the lunge, he would have survived another round. Would have had a chance to retreat or to give.
All right. Like, as a delayed response to your challenge, the Noel Tatarak draws from his back scabbard this enormous 2-handed glaive, which is a 6-foot pole that has a 3-foot sword on top of it. Whirls it about in this intimidation display, and then just charges at you, saliva coming out of his mouth as he screams and runs at you as fast as he can. Maybe cheering for Captain Ripper.
Do I get an attack of opportunity because he moved into my area?
No, you would only get that if he left.
Okay.
And he'll make 2 of those attacks.
Hey,
and you
neither
parry
of those
both.
hit because he ran up to me and the blue guy got in the way. Like, there's just not enough space.
Yeah. Oh, it turns out the blue guy is just an immovable object. Like, hey, he's just so bottom heavy, no
Yep.
one can move him.
Yep.
That makes sense.
That's what happened. So he's like trying to get at me around him, but he can't get a good
Yeah.
swing with such a long.
Yep.
That's what happened.
Turns out a
Yeah.
9-foot glaive doesn't work very well at a 7-foot ceiling.
Right,
See?
yeah.
That's what happened. Yep. hmm
Yep. And Sharptooth is like, get out of here. Oh, move. How was he not moving? All right, Draco, your turn. You are at the top of the stairs. Downstairs, you can hear pitch chaos.
He has that down in place.
He makes the rockin' world go round.
Okay. I'm gonna come on down. See all the fun happening down here. I unhook that. Hold on.
I'm just gonna look at Draco and say, Draco, this bird in lamp oil, do not fire. No fire.
I got this. Flex my fingers.
Make it rain.
I produce a very bright blue flame. It's starting to create. And then I cast Frostbite at the Null guy.
Nice. I have to make a con save, is that right?
Yes.
I am not very good at those.
I hope not.
Good.
Oh, God damn it.
Fuck you today. You're a
I
piece
rolled a
of
19
shit.
and a 20 on the last 2 saves that mattered.
I quit.
Finally!
I quit John today.
Bad guys worth fighting.
Your like spectral frost flame bolt leaps out and he just snuffs it, grabbing it in his hand, and then he just like it kind of looks like broken icicles. He just blows them back at you, snarling and cackling.
I look over at Renan like, so yeah, that's all you. Enjoy. And I take a step back, a couple steps back.
I'll be like, thanks, bud. You are my favorite brother.
Oh, I know it.
All right, Renan, it's your turn.
Hey, we still have Fire Guy summoned since we didn't take a short rest. Are you gonna let Fire Guy do something?
Here.
Or he can only do fire stuff, right?
He only fire
Yeah.
and teleport, and when he teleports, it's a flame of. Oof. And so that'd be bad. That'd be very bad.
Maybe leave him.
And
upstairs.
she's booming blade. Because I have to. Okay, I want to make sure I understand how to do booming blade. First of all, no sneak attack. I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was checked. I've never done booming blade, but I know I have to hit on a weapon first, right? Because then I cast it on the weapon.
That's correct.
Okay. Well, I did 10 damage to purple, obviously.
Okay. You did 8 damage to purple, right? And the booming only happens if he makes a move, right?
Oh, right. If he moves, yes. Correct. 5 feet. I've never used this before. It's a cantrip.
Is there anything else you'd like to do? Does the cantrip count as my bonus? The cantrip is actually an action to cast, and as part of that action, you make your weapon attack.
Cool. Cool. Then I am going to uncanny dodge away
Very nice.
to draw him out. Oh my god. I'm having a lot of technical issues. Yeah, I'm gonna uncanny dodge, but only to here.
Okay, I like it.
I'm gonna do the like,
Little
come here,
hard to get
bitch.
action. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I'm gonna go 1 thug mace attack on Oni. Ooh, so close, but nothing.
No, it matches.
Oh, I thought you were 18.
I'm 18.
We had talked about.
Can't hear you, Mig.
Sorry, we had talked about the alternative to Wall of Steel, which would have increased my AC and made me harder to hit, but we went with Wall of Steel instead.
Okay,
So
just
I
3.
take 3.
He rings your bell a little bit with a mace.
May I interrupt the
The-
game for 2 seconds?
Please.
Can you guys see my child in the back of my video just
We
passed
can't
out on our
see
on
you
our-
at all.
what?
that's you.
Yeah, your
You-
video cut out.
You've been blue
Yeah,
checkered for a bit.
I can see her, but
I saw
I
her.
don't see the child.
Oh, now I can.
He's
Oh yeah.
he's
Aw.
laying on that couch, just
Mhm.
passed out. Anyways, I'm sorry to interrupt the game. It's hilarious to me.
It's a good day for
He's
sunbathing.
It is a good day.
he's
for
not
sunbathing.
feeling very well,
He's like a
so.
lizard just charging.
hmm Okay, sorry,
You
game.
know,
Sorry about that.
Matt just had a friend over last night, and I'm gonna put the picture in Discord. Keep going.
Orange and green, seeing the Minotaur on scene, will use their crossbow attempts to bring down what they think is a dangerous target.
Definitely wasn't me.
I think a hit
Critical
for 2 points for
miss!
piercing and a critical failure.
Are they attacking? Who are they attacking? Me?
Oh, that's probably not good.
Oh. No, I think they're attacking me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I think I'm going to use shields.
Okay. Yeah, you take no damage. Oh my goodness. Okay.
And which one does the critical miss apply to?
Green. So you lose your footing while attacking and slam your head into the ground. Are you ready for what happens?
Yes.
He falls prone.
Who?
He takes 3d6 of damage, and he becomes unconscious for a minute or until someone damages him.
Excellent.
That is amazing.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Put that marker
Which
on
one
this
is that?
Green.
Green.
Which one?
He takes 9 points. And is just smack! Just out cold on the floor.
Hey, the
And then
gold's badass, but everyone else, whew.
purple will close to Renan, taking the bait. As he takes a step, explain to us what the spell looks like.
So I still have my sword drawn, and out of the tip of my sword, this very booming but specific little ball poofs out. And you're like, what in the stupid is that? And then as it gets closer, it just explodes in his face and he's blinded. Just kidding.
Like,
I don't think you can just say that, but that's what I want.
okay. Is it purple?
Color is it?
It's purple. It's always purple.
I figured. Purple balls. Got it. The blade booms. It does 2 extra damage, unfortunately. I think you rolled only 2 ones on your 2d8, which is a bummer. But you did boom him, and that's what counts. It is Amon's turn.
All right.
Shoot with
I'm
your arrow.
going
Shoot with
to-
your arrow.
Fire off an arrow at orange.
He said fire arrow?
He did.
Fire off.
Oh.
I don't have fire arrows, so.
I can help you with that.
A 19 hits orange for 7 points. And then is Hail of Thorns everything within 5 feet? I don't remember Hail of Thorns.
Yes.
Cool. I'm going to make a dexterity saving throw for 2 of them. Get out of here, crit chart.
Wait, who did he hit? Oni may need to move too.
I hit orange.
No.
So I'm going to fail both. So they each take another 8 points of piercing. Orange takes 8. Hey, come on, computer. You can do it. I believe in you. And green also takes 8 and like snaps up like, what is happening? Covered in a hail of sharp prickly thorns that have just pierced his face and neck. He's got a giant goose egg welt on his head from the deck. But he'll rejoin the fight next turn. Any movement from you, Amon?
No. And I believe this is still just a bonus action for my shot as a cantrip. It's not a separate action, right? So I can still fire a second arrow.
That's correct. Yep.
Okay.
At orange still.
Yes, please.
11 points. He is critically wounded, but still technically alive. He's like done that taking a knee to pull the arrow out rather than try to break it off. He thinks the end is likely near, but he's going to be a super tough guy about it. Just tears the arrow straight out of his chest.
All damage, no kills.
It all adds up, though. Hoppy, your turn. Round 2. Wait.
I'm going to come right here. I'm going to pick up Green by the scruff of his neck and try and intimidate him again.
Okay.
Oh, can I do it with strength?
I think even if we added strength to that, it's
only 13 with strength.
You ring him. He's maybe got some kind of brain damage from that deck shot. But he just kind of starts laughing at you, like literally hysterical laughter. He doesn't understand what's happening, but he like just pokes the pointy end of your sharp horn. He's like a bull.
Goro, just
I can still is that my action?
Let's say not.
Okay. So then I'm going to stab bitch.
I accept. That hits, and that kills him.
Okay. I'm gonna cleave onto Blue.
Okay.
I think I have more hit points right in front of you.
15 hits for 10.
I was hoping to get a second kill and be able to cleave again.
Don't forget, you only get one bonus action per turn.
Okay, so in that case, I'm gonna go after this guy with my second attack.
Sounds good.
Oh. Sorry, I had to rage. Could I have raged last turn? I don't think I could have, so I've already used my bonus action, so then that's my second attack.
Okay. I like it. Little damage on the blue guy, kill the green guy. Oni. The Knoll is still there at full health. The blue guy has been almost cut in half by Hoppy.
Can you
the
hear
green
me?
guy is dead.
Yep.
I can.
Thank you.
What do you want to do?
Okay. I want to finish off the blue guy first.
Whoa.
11 matches. They are poorly armored. So, ooh, and it does. That's exactly what he had left.
Nice.
That was exactly the bare minimum to hit and the bare minimum of damage. No effort wasted. Well done.
And then I'm going to turn to the Knoll and say, as I told you before, we've commandeered this ship. Would you like to stand down now?
He grins ear to ear, showing like for the first time that he's got sort of a mostly dead eye that's got a crisscrossed scar across it. He shows you his yellow fangs like in his best like mimic of a human smile. And asks, Longtooth be captain?
No.
Longtooth be first mate?
No.
Well, actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Then he's doesn't seem to be very interested in any further discussion.
Longtooth be cook?
Longtooth be consultant?
He asks, how much pay?
Honestly, first mate wouldn't be a bad idea for him, honestly.
Although we don't know how he's
I mean,
going to treat the slaves, right? Like,
But we punish him for punishing them if we want. It's good. It's good.
It pays the cost of your life. Take it or leave it.
So you want to turn him into a slave?
Well, no, he'd be free to go do whatever he wants once the ship lands. If he wants to stay on board and not fight us. If he wants to fight us, the cost is his life.
He points to the last 2 surviving members of the crew. And he says, "All sons of 7, consultant."
Fair enough.
And consultant, keep weapon.
No. But consultant can help us drive the ship.
Steer? No,
Consultant, keep
Maintain,
half
a consultant
care for. No
consultant
weapons.
can have weapon back after consulting job is done, right?
Consultant's row.
Once we land, you can have your weapons back.
And as many as you can carry.
Until then,
We don't need anything from the armory.
you will have no need for a weapon on this ship because no harm will come to you.
All right, since Oni and Happy, you both have been sort of working towards this goal, not together, but like this has sort of been, I think, something you were both chipping away at. I'd like either of you or both of you to make a persuasion check. If one of you wants to help the other, that can grant one of them an advantage to their roll.
I will help Hoppy so that it's God touch to God touch person, right?
Okay.
Your bottle's dripping.
I was gonna say your thing is probably better.
I thought he might respond better to you as a Minotaur than he would to me as a Earth
Okay.
Genasi.
Yeah, I'll do it. We'll say
Persuasion with advantage.
Mine is just a
I will-
+1, so.
my offer is as many weapons as they can carry when we get back to land when they want to leave, and his regular pay, whatever that is.
Did we find gold on the ship? How are we going to pay him?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet, but I have 10 gold and
Okay.
20 gold, and we can make this work.
Awesome.
Well, maybe we can't make this work.
That is a surprisingly bad roll. Is there?
I
any
will
way you
use my
do-
inspiration
Okay. I like it.
because I'm
like it, I like
really trying to not kill all these guys. I am
I appreciate
turning
your.
over a new leaf. I am no longer the crazy barbarian of the arenas. I want to help people. I want to have my griffin. I want my hat to be full of sunshine and lollipops, not fire and brimstone.
Oh, lollipop hat. Got it. All right. Roll again. With your inspiration. 10 is good. You have a way about you, obviously, of like sometimes offering people choices that are not actually choices, right? Like you do you could do it my way, or you could see what happens. It's technically a choice, but for a guy who's surrounded and wounded, it's not really a choice. But seeing between the lines, Longtooth looks at it for a moment, sort of scaling you guys up, thinking there might even be more people. He's looking at that stairwell, wondering how many more could be on deck. And he takes his glaive, peers it away in his fingers a few times, and stabs it blade first deep into the deck, and grabs the nearest Sons of Seven crewmate by the scruff and tells him, "You need to clean up oil. We know burn down Captain Broadhorn boat. We consultant now."
Captain Broadhorn. Nice.
He motions back behind him and he says, "Captain Broadhorn, you want me to cook a slave for dinner? They're good eating."
We'll
Worth
eat
a try.
regular. We'll eat regular food, thanks. And
You won't even try?
no,
No.
I'm a cow. I'm a vegetarian.
He says, "Okay, more for us to sell later."
Okay. Are all of them? So all of them are joining us, or orange and purple and dude?
Yep, Orange and Purple stand down and agree to Longtooth's compromise that they are now consultants.
How much? How much does he get paid? Is he willing to tell me that?
He tells you that he gets a share of the profits when slaves are sold at auction or when they take bounty. So it depends entirely on how much is coming in.
And
But
does he know how
historically, it's
to?
quite a bit.
Does he know how to pilot the ship?
He tells you that he has been first mate several times before on different vessels, and he is the second mate on board the Payday. He knows many things.
Okay. So good. You are going to be our pilot and help us move things. And please clean up this deck. And is there anything else that we need to know about this ship?
Is pilot promotion from consultant?
No.
Consultant is promotion from pilot.
Yes.
Understood.
We will.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And
He's as smart as
consultant
you are.
comes with
Remember,
one
you gotta
share
keep it.
He
and a half share for your friends.
asks Captain Broadhorn, show Longtooth where on Totem is consultant, and he puts his hand on the haft of his spear and starts raising it up, like looking for you to tell him where in the hierarchy consultant's now.
It's just below second mate.
Slaves,
I don't know. Yeah.
consultant.
And he just goes all the way down, but much below. Very good, like a consultant. He roughly describes to you all of the things you've already found: the crew quarters, the armory, the food stores. This is an area where the most valuable slaves were kept. These are slaves who might have advantages or abilities that were more useful than just being sold as either food or manual labor. And beyond it, in the farthest aft section of the boat, is the captain's quarters.
Okay. We should let out those slaves, or at least look in on them, and then let's check the captain's quarters before we let them out.
The slaves
and-
are chained to the walls, but they are better kept than most of the slaves you found before. I had 2 different sets of tokens, but I did not notice before that what I had screen grabbed for the lady slaves was actually showing an exposed nipple, and I wasn't sure how we'd feel about that. So while they all look like shirtless men, there are in fact 2 shirtless ladies in the mix there, obviously being kept for their neutral, their supernatural beauty. The other 3
I'll check in on
probably
them
have
for you guys. Make sure they're good.
some kind of intelligence or trade skill that was valuable to him beyond just selling them for slave labor. And then you can see it clear as day from here. In this back room is the captain's quarters that has a large meeting table with chairs all around it, his private quarters with a bed and a bathtub, and then his personal dressing closet, in which is contained a locked footlocker.
I'm going to take the our new friends, the consultants, up to the top floor and have them swap the deck. At least purple
They're
and
cleaning the oil
orange.
right now.
Well, after they clean the oil, and if you need it, you Michelle, you can take blue light special and finish searching the ship. I'll go up and keep watch and make sure our other slaves are still rowing us out to sea.
Like how you guys just become slave traders.
Well,
I will
we'll let them go.
gladly open the foot lockers.
Okay. Hoppy is passed you the blue light special. Exploring the captain's quarters, you don't find anything of any real irregularity. The only point of interest seems to be the footlocker. It is sealed by an above average quality lock. it won't be hard for you to pick it, but it will require a roll.
Okay, well. Suck it.
You defeat the mechanical mechanism pretty easily, in fact. You flop the footlocker open. It is depressingly mostly empty. There are a couple of fine pressed linen shirts in there, a series of like multicolored bandanas, an assortment of eye patches, a small dagger, and a leather overcoat that's been like treated with oil to make it weatherproof, and very little else.
Okay, I'm going to assume that he keeps his stuff elsewhere and keeps searching.
Make a perception roll. You turn to, like, this is mostly junk to you. Am I getting feedback from Megan? What's happening there?
I think so.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Mostly. Oh no, I still hear it. I don't know. I'm gonna keep talking. Turning away, you go to explore the rest of the room. Looking back into the closet, though, the footprint of this footlocker is glowing faintly blue in the light of the torch that Hoppy left you.
The base of the
Yeah.
footlocker?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I would like to explore that, touch it, look, get down on the floor.
Push it, move it.
Twist it, bop it. There are very, very, very fine scratches in the wooden deck of the ship here that suggest the footlocker could be moved fore and aft, almost like it's on a slide, maybe.
Then I would like to check to see if I can figure out if it's has a lever or a button. I'm searching the room for the thing.
Your perception is not great. You notice that there are 3 knobs. Like the chest itself has a series of ornamental anchors, but 3 of them look specifically like they could be moved. Most of them are not. So it's like a picture of a chest just sort of wreathed in anchors, but 3 of them are movable pieces. You don't think you understand a pattern or anything like this. You could attempt to deactivate them mechanically with a thieves tools check, or you could attempt to, just push buttons randomly and see if you can get it to do what it wants. Or there's just the brute force option of, prying the chest far enough that it'll just slide on its own.
I don't have a lot of brute force. I'm 16, so I'll try my thieves tools. Use me, computer. I fail miserably.
And you'll break it. Jam it.
That is unfortunate. You hear the sound of thin glass shattering, and then a volume of liquid glub 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 glub, like pouring into a space.
Uh-oh. At that point, I guess I would just start trying to break it open.
Okay, make an athletics check.
Do you need assistance? Do you want to yell for somebody to help? I'm not there, but Owen might.
Oh, sorry, I didn't need to roll it twice.
But amazing. In a moment of panic, you just adrenaline Hulk out and are able to
16-year-old strength
off of its slide. You push the entire footlocker over towards the front of the ship, and there is a small cavity, a steel-bound chest or basket, a small 8x8 squared container below that chest. It's like a basin, but it's now full of acid. there was parchment and some coins at the base that are bubbling and sizzling, being dissolved away in the acid. There is one glass ampule that has been eaten through. However, on the stack of what is now like molten slag as the gold coins are being melted, you see a small compass in a leather-bound holster and a narrow, thin glass like potion that the acid
will-
has yet to consume, but quickly will.
I will grab the 3 objects that have not been touched by acid or consumed by acid.
2 compass and a potion.
Oh, okay.
And the
I
compass
thought there was
is
also
carrier.
a glass vial, but okay. I will grab the 2 objects. Compass and a whatever.
And
And a thingy.
a potion.
A posh.
In very short order, most of what's in that steel basin has just become sort of like a brown gravy as the acid eats away and eventually becomes inert, having chewed through all the things it can chew through.
Sorry. I won't tell anyone. I'll just be like, this is all I found in the Foot
Slide
Locker.
the Foot Locker back over, and we're done here.
No one needs to know. And that's it? There's nothing under the steel box or okay.
Nope. Whatever other treasures were in that hidey hole have been eaten by the acid.
You're welcome. You're welcome, team. You'll never know, but I know.
Yep, that's all that's of interest in the crew's quarters, other than he's got a nice bed and a nice bath. And
I'm
you
gonna
found
take
a
one of his
compass.
nice shirts and put it on just to be a dick, and actually
Sure.
one of his eye patches.
Nice.
And do you
just
want
to
to
be
look
more
at that dagger?
There was a dagger in there? No, I don't.
The dagger in the chest.
In the actual Foot Locker proper, there was a dagger, an oiled coat.
I mean, I'll throw it
some
in.
shirts.
I'll throw it in the sack, the haversack of holding, just to sell it later.
Okay.
Does it look special? I'm not there, but
I thought you said it was just a basic dagger, right? Maybe I.
Yeah, it might have had personal significance to him, or it was just part of a particular outfit. You do not. I mean, you've appraised things, you've stolen things. It doesn't seem like anything more than just a good knife. If you need a good boot knife, this is certainly that. But you get the
Yeah.
impression it was probably either part of an outfit or something that somebody gave him that he didn't want to part with or didn't want to lose easily.
Cool.
so I'm gonna start going through the crates and stuff on the top just to see, or maybe ask the fellas what's in the crates.
The Longtooth, who is swabbing the deck, but tasked also one of the other people to create them consultant bandanas so that they can easily be identified, so that their rank is known amongst the rest of the crew that they are consultants. Tells you that the crates on the top of the deck were from a recent pirating. He says they are trade goods.
Okay. Anything particular that you know about it, or just trade goods?
He says that merchant ships take them, merchant ships sell them, we take them, and we sell them. Creates less money than people, but we take what we can take.
Do we? And then we should find out about the slaves in the bottom, and we should take manacles off of everybody. Is there enough places for them to sleep in the second floor of the housing?
Yeah, it's a little. I mean, it's a little rank. It is like a pirate ship where boys have lived most of their adult lives, so it's not great, but it's better than sleeping on a raw wooden floor.
Yeah. I'm gonna task some of the previous slaves with cleaning that space up, and saying it's where they get to live for now.
Okay. I was getting feedback from, I think, Caleb's microphone. I've
Yeah.
muted him in Discord and I don't see it now. Do you mind doing that on the stream? So we don't have that echo. And then
I was holding my
Caleb, if you
phone
need
for
to
a
get
second,
hold
so
of me, I guess type it for now until I can figure out why I'm having that audio issue.
is this better?
Was Michelle on speaker maybe?
Well, we're both on speaker right now,
Not
and I picked up my
important.
phone, so I think that was creating feedback.
I know you guys were anxious to get to a short rest with the slave crisis solved, with the consultants promoted, and with the captain's area explored. Now's probably not a bad time for at least a short rest, if not a long rest. You guys have now completely cleared the city of Sidis's coastline, and you are effectively in open water.
I'd say long rest time then. I could use it.
Yeah, let's check with Sari, or I want to check with Sari and see if she knows where we're going and how long it's going to take to get there.
Take an 8-hour nap. Is that what I hear?
Yes, perfect.
All right. It is long rest o'clock then.
Can we take 5?
Yeah. Well, while our characters rest, let us take a 5-minute break.
In the long rest.
on the ship. We got even more slaves on the ship.
We have someone who knows potentially
handle
how
slaves.
to
Sell them.
mhm,
It's
drive a
great.
ship.
And sell, slaves. It'd be great. We're in some money now. We got our own
We are
small
not
grotto.
selling slaves. We will offer them the opportunity to go as freed people to the grotto.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
All right.
Long rest. I informed the consultants that they are the boss of the slaves, but they are not to be mean to the slaves. If they have any need for to punish someone, it comes through me.
Nice. Long rest takes the form of 8 hours of sleep. You guys awake to find it still the middle of the night. You went to bed early afternoon, and it's now only 2 or 3 in the morning. So I guess this scene is inappropriate, but that's what we got. There's just an empty night sky, just pitch black pinpointed stars as far as you can see. And we are headed on the rough trajectory that Sari gave you. Now's a good time to ask her any questions if you want. Otherwise, I can move us forward if there's no discussions you want to have with any members of the crew with each other, or if we want to investigate any of the things we've found recently.
I'd like to talk with Sari. I just want to approach her up on the deck and ask her what we're looking for.
You find her all the way at the bow of the ship. She's like using her fingernail to just scratch wood off of the bow railing, just staring off into the sort of infinite horizon that the sea at this at this level produces. You can't really tell where the sky ends and the ocean begins, and it goes on forever. The perfect place to be alone with your deep thoughts. She doesn't even really hear you approach.
Hey, how's it going?
Turning like just a quarter to face you, not really taking her eyes off the horizon. She just tells you that she's so very happy to be this much closer to Kaminos and a return to her mission, that it's been harder than she expected to get this far. But there's just so much more to go.
Where is this?
Do you know where we're going?
She strokes the ruby at her waist and says that I have a rough idea. I think you're going to find that this shrouded island is not as hard to find as we've been told.
We're all trusting you in this, so I hope that you have some idea of what you're doing. I hope this little jewel isn't too untrustworthy.
She chuckles and says, no, for a long time, he's the only, she calls him, the only friend and confidant she's had. You can't help but notice that as she talks about him, calling the gem a him, she brushes away a tear out of her right eye and like tries to remain stoic, but you can see her lower lip tremble a little bit.
How did you come upon this new friend?
She said, by employing all of the charms you taught me. I don't know how people make friends.
Teach you how to make friends, that's for sure.
John says in real life, I don't know how to make friends.
I just do things, and sometimes people join me.
Friends? What's friends?
She tells you that it's a complicated story, but it's been challenging to make friends. It's been challenging to trust people. But she recognizes that there's value and strength in doing that. And she's glad that her Wajadat has agreed to place trust in her, at least temporarily. There's no greater feeling, she says, than to be trusted.
Well, we're trusting you with our lives right now, so if you need anything from us, just let us know.
She just pats the ship. We have all we need for now.
And I'll just walk away and dick around looking for cool things in the ship.
Okay. Did Draco or Zach, I guess, metagame real quick. I don't remember. Do you have the identify spell prepared?
I have detect magic, prepped.
thought you
Let me
don't.
see.
We checked that last time. Oh no, it was identify. Oh, we didn't know. Shut up, Michelle.
That, and also, I can easily, it's been 8 hours, so I could say I did it. Come on.
That's what I was wondering if it was worth. Identify. Oh, actually, no. Identify is not on the druid list.
No.
It's just artificer, bard, wizard. So you can't cast identify. So we don't know what that
Damn,
compass
if only
does.
we had a card.
Can we arcane it?
I can learn to see.
I can.
I mean, so like, there's always the I touch it and I swing it around a bunch and I attune to it and hopefully it's not cursed approach.
There you go. That's always fun.
I
Because when
dare
it's
you to
it's
look at-
cursed,
He wouldn't have kept it in his locker if it was cursed.
Maybe that's why he kept it in his locker.
Could have been.
Someone attuned to it. Come on. Good for you.
It's good for you.
All right.
Maybe my Eye
let
of
me see
Horus
it.
can make me see some cool things.
Hoppy, you want to play with it?
Sure. Rub it with my hand.
If you take it out of its leather satchel, it is surprisingly beautiful. It's highly polished gold and silver components. There's mechanisms to it that are so tiny and fragile, someone like you can't imagine how they exist and bear weight and tension at all. It looks like if you touched it even a little bit, it would just break into 1,000 pieces. But it seems very sturdy and resilient despite its appearance of fragility. You do note that it seems to always point to true north, as most reliable compasses should. But the more time you spend with it, the more you just find yourself sort of just thinking big questions, asking yourself like deeply interrogative, big thought questions. Questions that these are not normal Hoppy thoughts.
that Hoppy shouldn't be having because he has -2 intellect.
And copy thoughts.
Why am I here? What is purpose of life?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
I'm too dumb.
After spending an amount of time with it, you get the sense that something within the compass will always point you towards a correct answer. Not only is it good for navigating the open seas and finding north, you think that there's something about it that does more than that. It will help guide you through difficult decisions.
So are you telling me that I got hungry and it like pointed the way to the kitchen?
I mean, not
Is that a
entirely
big
untrue.
decision for you, Poppy?
Does everybody see it now?
Yeah.
yep, see it. The compass. Pretty cool looking.
Which one of us casts spells?
I cast spells. You cast spells.
Apparently I do
Your
now.
compass.
Anybody can now cast guidance and augury once per day.
I can already
What
cast
are
guidance.
those? What is augury?
I wish that there was a giant compendium of knowledge that we could
Compendium
look
that you
it
can
up?
go, look at that.
Alright.
Winky
We have one. It's called
winky.
John.
type it in.
You could have just told me by the time it took you to harass me about it.
But then the next time you would,
Mhm.
he would have to do it too.
Yep.
2 spells, once
I could
for long rest.
teach you how to make a campfire and you'll be warm for a night, or I could set you on fire and you'll be warm for the rest of your life.
By casting Gem Inlaid Sticks, Rolling Dragon Bones. What the? Okay, this already got weird. Laying out ornate cards or employing some other divining tool, you receive an
Compass.
omen from an otherworldly entity about the results of a specific course of action that you can plan to take. So the gods send you an omen to tell you what to do. The spell doesn't take it out of this.
Okay. Whoa.
I still feel like that would be best in
Yeah,
the
wheel
hands
or
of
woe.
Amon. But
Kind of what
Yep,
I was
I
thinking.
think it should be good.
I
I already
can
have
be
advantage on perception.
Yeah,
We love you, Poppy, but you're big and dumb. And we need you to stay big and dumb.
You need me to stay big and dumb.
Mhm.
Fortunately, that's my core competency. So
Big check.
Dumb.
dumb.
Sometime.
Where's lunch?
Well, only in game. I'm smart in real life.
As the evening drags on and we start entering early morning, there's something kind of unusual that Sari, Longtooth, and a couple of the other slaves have all come to the port side of the ship to watch. That's up to you guys.
Watching.
I'm okay with Amon having it. I can change its notation to owned by Amon. Now is actually before we
he
get back to the
points us
narrative.
at the stuff, and Hoppy and I are the first ones on scene. But Amon having the like looking back and seeing the whole picture. He's the whole picture guy. We are the immediate picture people.
I accept this. Okay, it is Amon's compass. Looking now to the gathered crowd at the port side of the ship as you guys continue to sail north through the Great Sea, there's an alarmingly large school of fish swimming directly perpendicular to your vessel. They dive down deep under it, but like you can almost feel like it almost puts the ship off course slightly when the momentum of just that many bodies swim under your ship. Now that you are
Its
all
own current.
now that you are all interested in it, the slaves that are watching tell you that this has been going on all morning, ever since the sun came up, perhaps earlier. Just massive schools of fish have just been skirting past. Some of them jump trying to clear the boat like flying fish and are landing on the deck. And
Do we
Andy
eat them?
has jumped off of Mark's shoulders and is trying to paw and slash at them, trying to get a free meal where he can. Seems harmless enough because they're just throwing themselves on the deck. Looking around, you also notice that there are a bunch of seabirds this far out who are also traveling in the same exactly perpendicular to your position overhead by the dozens. You've never seen gulls this far out, let alone in that number. Oh no.
Andy's gonna eat well, and I feel like birds out in the middle of nowhere
Are
in
they
the
going
ocean
in
is
our
not
direction or
right.
Say that again, Happy?
Yeah, that.
in our direction or away from us?
You guys are traveling from the south to the north, and all the wildlife you've encountered is going east to west.
Okay.
I
That's
would
not-
assume that we are close to land if there are seabirds in the middle of the sea.
Do we have
Use
anybody
the
in the?
compass.
Do we have anybody in the lookout tower?
I'd like to go up and look because I have the eye
And the compass.
with
And you can
advantage
just
on
be like,
perception, and
hey, compass, where's this place?
I
that
see
we're going?"
everything.
I see.
Yeah.
See dead people.
I seen it.
All right. No athletics is required to ascend to the crow's nest, but once you get up there, give me a perception roll. You don't see any land within sight. Like you headed on a swivel, looking at miles and miles of sea in every direction. You see no land. However, there is something on the horizon to the west of your position. Hard to tell. It's too small to be a vessel, but something is bobbing up and down in the waves. And you can't help but notice that the entire line of dolphins and fish that are swimming towards it and the line of birds in the air all seem to be heading in that direction towards whatever's bobbing in the sea.
Creepy.
Is
Amon,
it
you
is it
also
moving or is it just bobbing?
it's like the best description would be adrift. It's moving only in the sense that as waves rise and fall, it too rises and falls.
I want to talk to Sari and see if she sees it because I know she has the other eye.
She does see it. She doesn't want to go off course, but she's a little intrigued about what would motivate all of these creatures. She basically sort of kicks it back to you. What do you think we should do?
Would the Horus head give them more information? Like if one of them was using both of the eyes?
It's possible.
Offer her my eye. See if she wants to
She will
check it out.
combine the legacy again. As she does that, though, Amon, you are the most perceptive among your team for sure. You watch in surprise, in shock, as one last flying fish tries to jump itself over the boat and lands on the deck. But another one sails overhead, missing the deck completely. But Andy, the griffin, jumps to get it and takes flight. He unfurls his wings and starts flapping to catch the fish 6 or 7 feet off the starboard side of the boat and just disappears over the railing for a moment. And then just comes
I
back
was
up,
literally
flapping his
thinking-
wings.
Come back, Andy.
How long have we had Andy? Because he's got to be close to not being a Phoebe anymore.
And he takes flight, chomping this flying fish in half. And he just starts zoomies around the boat, flying all over the place. It's like he didn't realize, but for the first time ever, he can fly. He's meant to fly. He's supposed to fly. And he's having so much fun, just flying circles around the ship, moving twice as fast as the vessel was moving before. He's like dive bombing Hoppy and skirting the crow's nest.
I'm gonna go like pat Hoppy on the back and be like, "You did good as a daddy, but it might be time to let Hoppy spread his wings and."
He lands
Andy.
on like one of the great
Andy,
masts, and just cocks his head to the side for a few seconds, and just starts looking at all of the birds ahead. And he shakes his head twice, and then takes flight, streaking up into the air, and starts following the procession of birds to the east.
Well, we have to go and find out. 'cause
Our griffin!
He's excited about something, and if he's ready to leave me, I understand this.
He's
But I
his
really
own
don't wanna let
griffin
him
now.
go. What's that?
He's his own griffin now.
He's starting to go by Andrew and grew out his hair.
Nice.
It's Drew now.
My friends call me Drew. I don't care what you say, Dad. I'm getting a tattoo. All right.
Not on this pirate ship, son.
he screeches, and for the first time ever, he sounds less like a hatchling and more like an adult griffin, and just takes off, following this flock of animals off to the distance towards whatever's floating in the distance along the horizon line there. Having assumed the second portion of the legacy of Horus, Sari's looking and tells us, with the extra insight granted to her by Horus, it appears to be a man on a small ramshackle raft. He looks very near death.
We should go and help.
Yeah, let's just.
How far away is he?
The legacy of Horus speaks like for her, through her, in that male Horus voice that's not at all Sari's, and says, "Beware the intertwining nexus of fates. What you do now could likely affect others."
Yeah, if we leave him to die, he could die. We help him, He lives.
Do we want to use augury? Would that tell us anything about this action?
Yeah, I think it's. I want to ask the compass if we should go rescue this guy or not.
Asking the compass, should we rescue this person or not, the compass dial spins slowly at first, but then much, much faster, wheeling in a 360-degree arc. While it does that, you see two things flash very abruptly before your eyes, Amon. The first is kind of like a pirate's mast or a pirate's flag, a skull and crossbones across a field of black. And then you see a flowering red bush wrapped in thorns and a rising sun. And the compass tells you both weal and woe await you.
Flowering red bush.
That's not helpful at all.
Wonder what that could be, guys. Based on the shit. Red Briar? Just saying. Was that the name of it? Did I get the wrong? Okay,
Yeah,
good.
the
Dear God.
lotus.
And then what was the other thing? Sun? The sun?
A rising sun.
What could the rising sun be? A new day, a new journey, anew.
Andy.
Brendan, don't
becoming
read into it too much.
A
Tell me
not
what to do.
man,
Amon, you're the
but
one that's reading into it.
that,
Sorry, we're
that
okay.
would be pretty interesting.
An adult.
An adult. He's becoming he's becoming his full self.
So, how close is it again?
From the crow's nest, it looked like it was maybe only a mile or mile and a half away from our current position to where this ramshackle raft is.
But it's in a big way out of our way if we want to go help him.
That's true. The compass promises that something very good and something very bad will come as a result of this action.
Yeah, that's a typical day for us. Let's go help him.
Do we have
Let's
any
do
way
it.
to like? He's a mile away, so we can't like holler out to him and see if we get any kind of response.
That's true.
We can. Yeah, I think we just need to pull up next to him and see.
We need to pull up. Sorry.
Do we
I
have like
promise
a
I'll never
rowboat?
do that again.
Well, I got like water walk and stuff like that. I can cast for myself to help get him out of the water once we get there. Just a mile. That's a ways for me to, get him and come back. I also got, my fire dude can pick him up and teleport him on board once we're close enough.
Yeah,
to
let's-
answer your
let's,
question, Hoppy, there is also a dinghy at the aft end of the ship that can be, lowered or raised into the water.
Do we want to take a dinghy? Do we want to?
If nothing else, we get an extra slave.
It's true.
They're not slaves. They're independent consultants.
All right. So at this point, do you want
Interns.
to change the ship's bearing and start heading towards the raft? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
I vote yes.
Any dissent?
We're not going to leave him there
Otherwise,
to die.
I'm going to say we're doing it.
I just want it to be known that I think this idea is stupid, but I'm gonna do it because siblings and that, whatever.
I like that your
Andy,
sundress matches the coffee cup.
It's a red piano.
It really does match.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks. I planned it that way. I didn't.
All right, we've changed the direction of the ship. We are heading towards Wheel and Woe that awaits us at the raft. Once you guys get within a quarter mile, that's only a few hundred feet or so from the ship, you can make out they are very crudely together, or lashed together segments of a broken ship, tied together with some driftwood. And there's just a man in tattered clothes sort of laying down face up to the sun, just baking away. Doesn't seem to have noticed that there's a boat approaching, and like I said, the raft is just kind of up and down with the wake of the ocean's tide. You do notice though that there are enormously large dorsal fins in the water circling him.
Sharkies!
Where all of the like prey fish and stuff have come to this area, and all of the birds that have flown this far are now circling overhead. So too are there large predatory creatures in the form of what are likely large sharks now just circling this raft. The irony in the discordance in the appearance that the sharks are swimming in a clockwise fashion while the birds overhead are circling in a counterclockwise direction. It creates a noticeable but distinct visual asymmetry.
That's pretty crazy. So, who we going down and get it? Should I go get him or what?
Let's holler down to him first and see if we can rouse him.
Well, if nothing else, he's got something magic on him. If it's causing all this happening.
He's got something magic, or he's evil, and for some reason things are reacting weird to him.
The compass says, good will come our way. I'm just saying.
It also says bad.
Yeah, hanging with you is bad. Hanging with you is bad at times. Come on.
That's fair.
I'm the best, Zach. I mean, Draco.
So,
all right, so I want to go.
If I holler down,
I want to head to the dinghy to see about picking them up. Well,
is Andy still circling with the birds?
He is. You can pick him out. He's much larger than any of the other birds that are circling, and he's doing like the seagull. He's like impersonating the seagull caws, and as they circle, he's trying to bank with them, but he's so much bigger, he really can't bank as agilely as they do. So he's kind of like figure eighting where they're doing a tight circle, but
yeah, sounds about right.
But he looks really cute doing it. So
he does, and he's like very committed to whatever they're doing. Like he's a part of something. Oni, as you call out with your loud projecting arena voice, you can just watch the hand comes up over his face, like, and the figure just sits up on the raft and tries to squint and glare against the sunlight until he sees the ship. You notice immediately now that he's sat up, Oni, from your perspective, he's wearing manacles that have chained his hands very closely together, and those chains are also linked to a belt, so he can't raise his hands too far apart from his midsection. The manacles themselves are either designed to or have caused so much chafing that blood is running down his forearms in both directions, and he's wearing some kind of circlet around his head that has dug into his scalp, and that also is similarly bleeding, although that blood looks dry and like not at all recent.
I feel a little bit like those may have been placed there intentionally, and I'm not while I am keen to heal him, I am not keen to remove them until we know more about him.
I think he just looks like a slave from a ship that got destroyed, so he's on here floating around.
I'm still going to mention that to the group and then say, how did you find yourself here?
Can we at least send him some water, or
I'm heading to the dinghy to drop it on down.
through like burnt, chapped lips and like a raspy voice, "Are you not here to kill me?"
What reason would I have to do that?
He just sits down on his haunches and laughs. "What reason would they have to have done any of this?"
You didn't answer my question. How did you find yourself here? And I'm assuming at this point Draco probably has the dinghy in the water and is making his way downtown,
I'll go with him.
rowing fast.
Walking fast.
And they're shark bound.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
I wonder if Michelle Branch could sponsor us.
Yeah.
It's a reoccurring theme.
Mhm.
It is.
Oh,
No.
Andy's pissed.
Give me just one quick. Gonna move. So Draco and Hoppy in a dinghy, is that what I understand?
And I'm still talking to the dude.
Okay. I'm gonna move to this section.
Who I'm assuming now sees that we're trying to get him.
Row,
asked him-
row my boat.
You asked him a question, Oni, but I don't remember what it was. I'm so sorry.
I had originally asked him how he found himself there.
He said, "Abandoned by small-minded cowards left alone to die."
What is your name?
He says that he is called many things in many places, but most frequently he's known as Olmec.
Olmec, if we bring you on our boat, will you present any danger to us?
He thinks about it for like a really long time and tells you almost certainly yes.
Harm that you will do to us or harm that will befall us for assisting you? Because if the answer is harm to us, we'll just leave you right where you are.
He swears that he bears no malice in his soul for any of you.
That
So
doesn't
just
really
bad
tell
luck.
me whether or not you will hurt us. You don't have to have malice in your heart to hurt us.
He says that he will take no direct action to hurt you, although that doesn't mean you'll be safe.
Fine. We'll deal with the rest when you're on board. Good luck, guys.
Thanks. I think we're gonna need it.
As you row closer, as is portrayed here on the battle map, some of these sharks start taking passes at the boat, trying to ram it and knock it over.
Whew.
I'm going to have the two of you
I wanna
roll
use-
initiative so that you can.
Can I use animal friendship?
You're not in the water though.
Were you in the dinghy?
It's a range of 30 feet.
The
Were
boat
you in
is a
the
quarter
dinghy?
mile away. Yeah.
Oh, they're that far. Okay. Sorry, guys.
Hoppy, do you
Sorry.
want to roll initiative for me? No worries.
Yeah, it was-
Shark bait. Ooh ha ha.
Perfect. The two sharks are working almost like in a coordinated effort. Like one will ram the right, which rises the right side of the boat, but as it sinks again, the other one will hit from the left, like trying to create a deliberate teeter-totter. After their first ramming attempts, I need both Draco and Hoppy to make dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Dexterity saving throw?
Yes, please.
Sorry. Trying to figure out
Uh,
what Megan's.
You both stabilize well enough that the boat hasn't capsized, and you are like white knuckling the edges of the dinghy. I haven't been knocked in. As the second shark swims underneath you, you can't help but notice the size differential. It is longer than your dinghy. Wait, that's
Okay.
As you get within 30 feet of the makeshift raft, the character that you know as Olmec says, "My jailers may not allow for my release."
Or your jailers.
He just sort of eyes the dorsal fins in the water.
Okay.
If
Can I do an action now?
talking, we can't hear it. You can, sure. It's your turn.
Okay. I want to go ahead and see if I can cast Animal Friendship on
Entire
the big one that came on up. If its intelligence is higher than 4, I mean, it's going to be a little harder, but yeah.
Make an Arcana check for me first.
Arcana is awesome.
You cast the Animal Friendship spell. And normally that allows you to open a dialogue between you and the creature, and you can sort of influence its thoughts and ideas. It feels almost mean sometimes as a druid to force your will on something else, but sometimes the creature is so simple that it's really just like a nudge in a direction. As soon as you make contact with this particular shark, however, you are overwhelmed by a sense of malice and control from some other outside influence. It's like
hell.
you stepped into a room and there's somebody else already in here.
Okay.
And that person has or is motivating the sharks to keep this man from leaving this raft, or perhaps kill him if they can. And they don't seem to appreciate your interference here.
Okay, this is going to be harder than I thought, guys. Let's see if
Could we throw a rope to him and lead his raft closer to the ship so we have some backup without getting the sharks upset with us?
You could try.
What do you think?
uh
Because I don't know.
worst case scenario.
I have a javelin that I can use to attack these guys.
But here's the thing: you're strong, right?
Yeah,
Okay. What if? How fast can you move?
40.
Okay, you're fast. You're strong. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cast Water Walk on you. You're going to haul ass over there, grab him, and haul ass back on over here. That's what we're going to attempt.
It seems like an incredibly dumb decision. But
Which is perfect for you.
I like it.
Hoppy agrees. So, here's the plan.
Fucking ballsy, bro. Ballsy.
I'm going to have the immovable rod out as like a safety thing, because magic is not my core competency. And then I'm going to dash across, grab him, throw him over my shoulder, and dash back to the boat.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
Yes.
Okay. Sounds like a dumb plan. Let's do it.
All right. So, John, are we good to go?
I'm just reading Water Walking really quick.
Yeah, no problem. I can post it if you would like. Oh, you're already reading it, though.
Let
so
me
it's
direct you to a very cool compendium where you can look up all kinds of different spells and abilities anytime you'd
What I'm
want on
doing.
demand.
What I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. It is not a I just want to see if it was a concentration spell or not. And it is not. All right. Hoppy, you can Jesus if you want.
Jesus,
No,
Jesus,
dude.
Jesus.
You get all the way to the other side of the thing. You notice that the sharks have now lined up.
Now, you guys see the rest of my plan, right? He took all their attention. So,
The person is very happy to see you. Now that you can see him, Hoppy, he's got sort of a gruff, almost animalistic face. His ears are long, almost ending in points. He's got a gristly beard. He's got very pronounced canine teeth. But in a very soft, very like just tired of all of this voice, he thanks you for trying to save me. What's your next step?
Can he fit in the saddle?
No, he's a medium-sized person.
Then
Sackato's
I can either fireman carry him or he can piggyback ride. Whatever is going to be more comfortable for him.
He tells you could simply remove these. He's trying to strain against the chain around his waist to show you the manacles. Now that you've seen them, Mark or Hoppy, they are not manacles in the conventional sense. They are not banded steel. They are rows of wrought iron spikes that look like a bramble tree that have been driven into his wrists.
Oh.
So the spikes are 2 or 3 inches dug into his wrists on both sides, and the crown that he wears, the circlet, is also banded thorny brambles that have been forced into his scalp and skull.
He's the
I'm not
water
so
Jesus.
good at making decisions, so I'm not gonna. His options are over the shoulder, on the back, or in the saddle.
He does not want to be in the saddle. He agrees for the sack of potatoes carry, muttering something under his breath about the sharks are going to eat well tonight.
Throw him over my shoulder, and I could just carry him back to the boat.
Yes.
Reading the spell, did you cast the water walking on all of us, all 3 of us?
No, just you.
Probably should have done it on you too, in case you fell out of the boat.
Actually, yeah, it was you and me both. Since we're in the boat, we're good. Up to 10 willing creatures. You can see within range. Has its ability.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take him back to the boat, but we might just want to run for it.
As they come nipping at our heels.
Yeah. But I think it might be a little easier to.
Yeah, I agree. I don't disagree. All right.
I think it's going to be faster than taking the boat. That's kind of my.
I hope you're limbered up. You ready?
Oh, there's somebody at the door. Let me.
Go ahead and take care of the door.
All right.
John, I'll go ahead and run.
Okay.
And I'll be right back. I think I know who it is. Thanks.
The mad dash, the run, will result in opportunity attacks from the sharks who have prepared to attempt to eat him.
Right.
So probably wait for him to get back, but the goal is to just strafe to the boat.
Yeah.
I
think he's planning on going to the actual ship, not the dinghy. I think that's what he's thinking. Yeah.
Okay.
But we'll see. I think that's what he was kind of thinking because he thinks he can run a quarter mile with this guy on his shoulder with sharks chasing him.
If all of the sharks are in between him and the dinghy and the ship is maybe a little offset of that, if all of the sharks' attention has been drawn to one area, he could run in the other direction.
True.
To the question about Amon knowing this person based on historical records, I would say almost certainly no. The sharks are going to take some bites with their opportunity attack or their delayed actions. Just do it as 4 bites, I think.
We're not all the same. God. Freaking Michelle, so racist.
I would think that is probably far more likely.
No.
What is his?
Okay, sorry, we were muted for a long time. I'm like, if it's a druid though, you can feel the magic in their bloods.
Feel the magic.
And I
I
am
feel
pretty
like-
smart.
You were very smart in game. No, you seem very smart in real life.
Oh no. All right. So Mark's not here, but we're gonna. He did not say he was raging. He's going to take
Is he getting
9
bit by
points
a
of piercing
shark?
damage by the shark.
Here he is.
Oof.
All right.
Didn't
Mark,
go
your-
well, little buddy.
your mad dash is 75% successful. Jumping sharks everywhere. You pitfall jump like crocodile heads over most of them. However, the third one hit you with a 20, dealing 9 points of piercing damage. And then it made a grapple check against you. You made your check with disadvantage because you're carrying a person. He made his with an advantage because he's a pack tactic hunter. And unfortunately, he now has you grappled.
Okay.
So you are like shin deep
Chuck
in
the
water
guy into the boat.
as it's trying to wrestle you beneath the waves to continue to feed on you. But your forward progress has been arrested.
Actually, okay, that already happened. I would have used the shield to avoid that attack.
You can
But,
take less damage, but you're still grappled.
The shield gives +5 AC, so he would miss.
Oh, I see, on the bite.
Yeah.
Well, that's the penalty you pay for getting the door. I hope it was important.
It wasn't, but I just had to tell. It's the 7-year-old across the street comes over to see if Mathis can play. So I went to check and see if he wanted to play, but he was exhausted, so it's just hanging out upstairs watching. That's fine. I can totally chuck the dude into the boat, kind of like
It's-
dwarf tossing.
Draco's turn first. Draco, you see that Hoppy's been bit pretty well by one of these large hunter sharks. It hasn't drug him underwater yet, but you feel like that's almost certainly the next step.
Right.
You've got an action. What do you want to do with it?
My action will be, let's see, I can use my fire again, so might as well
You can
use
use your fire
Scorching
to
Ray.
teleport us into the boat.
Well, that's my bonus action. I got a minute. So, Scorching Ray, first one.
Yep.
Any chance of it letting him go?
It has not. No.
Okay. 2 more. Boo boo.
Second one hits. Third one misses. I see 12 damage. Is that right?
Yes.
You singe him, the shark, quite a bit, but it's like it's 3/4 in the water, and so like you're creating a lot of steam too.
Right.
I'm wondering if some of the water isn't
Dousing it a
defend
little
the
bit.
shark slightly.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Cast my fire dude, and have him, teleport them back to us or back to me at the boat.
Okey doke. Fiery
This
boy
boat is
away.
awful.
He grabs Olmec and Hoppy and starts to disperse, but he just starts rapidly blinking in place. Your fire guy. You see the same element on the rowboat. He's like simultaneously in both places for half a second at a time.
Right. Okay. That means the magic stuff that's holding him back it's interfering with my magic. That's fun. Yay.
It does seem like that. You get the impression that it would be far easier to just grab Hoppy. That the fiery spirit's intuition tells you that he could easily grab Hoppy, but there's something specifically about Olmec that seems to be interrupting his ability to teleport.
Right. I yell at Hoppy. Hey, we can't I can't teleport you guys until he's out of those bonds because it's clearly disturbing the magic.
While this is all happening, can we be moving the ship closer?
If you'd like.
As they're,
Yes, please.
yeah, I think
Once we see that they are engaged in battle, we start.
moving closer.
keeping a safe distance from the sharks, but a little bit closer.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think we need to be too far from the sharks, but
Okay,
Can
how about this?
Renan dimension door him? Or does she
No,
have
here-
to be
here-
there first to pick him up?
Yeah, I
Basically,
have like a
I'm gonna
ring.
yell at Hoppy to go ahead and throw him and see if he can throw him onto the boat, and then my guy can, would be able to transport him, or be able to transport Hoppy if he can toss the guy away
Yeah.
from him.
Why don't I? Okay. Do you wanna? Can you? Can you delay your action, your dude's action, to teleport me as soon as the Red Briar guy is out of the way?
I'm fine with that.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
strictly speaking only an action, but I think we're nitpicky.
Okay. Then, can I throw this guy more or less safely onto the boat?
I think
You
like
should attempt.
the greatest DM answer of all time is applicable here. You can
You
certainly
can
try.
what's so how, John? Just for the sake of
Yes, sir.
numerics, how close are we to them
Oh,
now?
let's say within 200 feet. The ship is going to move
Okay.
very quickly. You had good tailwind, so if you wanted to get close, it's not going to take you a long time to move it into position. They had several turns, I assume. Like, I glossed over because I thought you guys wanted to stay away, but you would have had several, 20, 30 seconds to get closer, so I'm comfortable saying you're within 200 feet. Hoppy athletics check. You'll have advantage with it if you're raging.
I am
Otherwise,
raging.
a straight up athletics check.
There you go.
Nice. Yeah, because of your ability to stand on the water instead of be sunk into it, there's no buoyancy to consider. So you just plant your feet on the waves, which is a super weird feeling, and you just shot put this guy all the way into the rowboat,
Nice.
while a shark is just nom-nomming your right leg.
Okay, and then can I take a? Was that my action?
That was your action, yes, sir.
Okay, then.
And so, is he able to teleport with my guy straining?
Effortlessly, Hoppy just disappears in a bamf of flame, sizzling the water as he disappears, reappearing in the rowboat behind you with Fiery Guy. Bleeding a little bit into the rowboat, doesn't seem to care.
Which
Alright.
which shark did you hit?
The one that's biting you. The one close. This guy here.
Okay. And I'm now over here.
They
Yeah, sir.
sharks
Row.
continue to circle the rowboat, trying to knock it off kilter, but very quickly you guys are like in the silhouette of the mothership, and it doesn't take long for them to raise or drop the ascension lines and bring the dinghy back on board.
Grab the dinghy.
It's a two-hand operation.
Tugboat.
Yeah,
Fair.
that would have been awkward.
But John loves us.
Are the sharks now circling our ship, or are they no longer reacting the way they were before? And what are the
They're-
birds doing?
The birds are now just flying alongside your ship. If it resumes its original heading, they just follow you.
Okay.
Andy has landed on the crow's nest, and the sharks are just in a gentle pursuit course. Like, they're not circling your ship, but they're just following closely behind, like stray cats.
Are they shredding?
Are they what? Oh, shedding.
Shredding. No.
I heard shredding, and
Shredding.
I'm like,
Totally, dude.
Are they close enough that we should grab some spears and try and poke them off, or what do
They're
you
not
guys think?
attacking the ship. They're just following the ship.
And if Draco has told us that something is mind controlling them, I don't know that I really want to harm sharks that are just doing shark things.
So as we get closer, I actually want to cast Zone of Truth, which I'm not sure how to link it because I I have it assigned. I'm just trying to find
We
it.
have a compendium that you can look at.
No, I
I'm already reading it, and I love that everybody's a smartass today.
It started. We are just emulating our fearless leader. So
For sure. I understand the spell. What are you hoping to accomplish with it?
I'm hoping that if these sharks are controlled by something else, that I can cut off that connection.
Not really at all what the spell does, but I kind of like your flavor additive there. That's really interesting.
not at all how to do this, but sure.
It's not what the spell does, but
It's meant to compel something to tell the truth, but like I like that like in your world that just forces the sharks to like experience the truth. Like their truth is just that they're supposed to be hunting baby seals and not so much doing whatever is commanding them to do. I
Yeah, I
don't
like that
hate
idea.
that.
I like that idea too.
It's like a fun little. I think it's on brand and it's not really like a combat spell, so I think it should be open to a broader interpretation whenever possible. Are you proficient in either religion or arcana?
religion.
Make a religion check for me.
Let them see their god. Woo!
Oh, damn it.
This.
Yeah.
Turns out sharks don't have a religion, so it's perfect.
My religion is blood.
I'm gonna give you success on the spell, but you unfortunately get to glean no information from the interaction as to what was controlling them. There's just sort of like a ringing bell sound in their minds that you create, and their nictating membranes all roll black for a second, like danger is present, and they just stop floundering in the water briefly. Then the nictating membrane resets. You see their normal color has returned, and they just start swimming off in 4 different directions. But you get no sense of what was compelling them, only that you showed them the truth of what they were.
Are the birds at all impacted by this as well, or were they just here because the sharks were here?
They are not impacted by that because they were outside the radius of the zone of truth.
Well, good job. Good job.
Not what it was for, but
No, I like anytime somebody comes up with like a creative. Here's what the spell says it does on the tin. Here's how I'd like to use it. Love those. You have the guy on deck. He's still dripping blood from his wrists and from his scalp. He is smiling ear to ear, though to no longer be on his floating raft, and just like sitting against the rail of the ship with his hands against his knees. He just looks up and asks, "Who are my saviors?
I am
And
the
how did you
great,
find me?"
I am the great and
Jesus
powerful
Christ.
Draco, and these are my companions. I sent my buddy Hoppy over there to grab you because he big, strong, dumb.
He nods in appreciation towards Hoppy and tells you that it's
Sorry,
very.
for some reason my computer decided to update my audio driver, and I just lost the last like 30 seconds.
You missed nothing.
On the boat.
Yep, you didn't miss a whole lot. Old man nods, thanking you for saving him. Draco, he looks at you and asks if you've served the wildfire your entire life or only recently.
My whole life.
Just sort of nods, like acknowledging that a druidic call is for your whole life.
Yes, exactly. I'm pretty, awesome. Being a, fire genasi makes it, Comes with the territory a little easier. Can you tell what kind of druid he is, or no?
Actually, do you speak Druidic? Do you
I
have that
do.
feature? I don't remember when you get that. They changed it around in 5th, and I don't remember if it was like early or
Yep.
if you don't get it until.
Yep, I got it. Got it.
You know for sure that he is a druid, beyond all doubts, beyond just the insinuation and the supposition that he was. You know for a fact he has all of the bearings of a druid. All of the druids that you've ever interacted with serve a circle.
Mhm.
Your circle is the wildfire circle. There are circles of the moon, circles of the land. He does not bear any emblem, iconography, or symbol on his garments, on his spell bag, or on his body that tell you what circle he belongs to, which is interesting.
All right, I'm gonna straight up ask him then. And it's mentioned how it's odd to see nothing specifying what his circle is.
He just nods and appreciates your perception, but tells you you would not advertise that which is forbidden.
Oh.
Because I'm certain this ship is not one that you've purchased.
We procured it.
And when we arrive at whatever our destination is, will your first declaration be that this is a stolen vessel?
Where we're heading, there probably won't be a declaration needed.
But you get his point.
Yes. Yes.
He's trying to remain hidden and therefore does not advertise his druidic circle.
Okay. Well, then you'll understand if we want to keep you chained up, just in case,
He tells you whatever makes you comfortable. He does ask if he might inquire as to his own comfort, and asks if the beautiful one might bring him some water.
Hey, Hoppy. He wants some water. Think he got the hots for you.
Who's he looking at? Renan? Sorry, me.
He seems to be nodding at Renan.
Nice.
Oh wow, it is actually me. I'm gonna look at Oni. I'm gonna look at Oni and be like, "You barf," but I will. I'll be like, "I'll bring you water, kind sir," and then I kind of like,
See, perfect. You found your calling. You're our bar wench.
I've been called worse, actually. Okay.
And for a room, we'll to give him a room downstairs. Because I figure we got some openings since we killed some people.
Treat him like a slave, jeez.
We're keeping him chained up.
To drink the little bit of water that he's got, he's obviously parched and extremely dehydrated. He asks if he's a prisoner.
I think that's.
I don't think you're a prisoner. It's just we're gonna keep you chained up for our safety. We'll let you out, off the ship when we land, right?
I'll just smile and say, undecided.
I think you'll find us a lot more amenable when people are honest with us. So as long as you want to withhold information, we'll consider you a potential threat. We have nothing.
I mean, you were left. You were left here to die.
We have the cells downstairs, but I think we should heal him to the best of our abilities, feed him, and give him water.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to be cruel to him.
Consultants!
Just, we didn't want to leave you to die like that. That's kind of jacked up. That's a shitty way to go. So
let's definitely get him some quarters since he's been baked in the sun for how long.
Get him a little bit of food, get him some water out of the sun, and continue on our way.
He asks, noticing the consultants, if you are slavers, and he says that with a great amount of distaste. He finds it cruel that you would keep slaves.
No, everybody on this boat is free. We just are stuck.
This was a
Or
slaver
an
ship.
intern.
Yes.
Looking down at his own manacles. Well, not everyone.
You'll be free when
I'm
we
just
get you back to
standing there
land.
polishing my sword, saying, "We kill slavers, and we don't know that you aren't one. Because there's a lot we don't know
Where-
about you."
Where
Start
do you think
talking?
we got this ship?
He says that he would answer any of the questions that she asks me.
Yeah, that's what I
Again,
was thinking.
gesturing
I'm
at
like,
Brennan.
yeah, I'm gonna grab the. This was a different campaign because I was about to grab the health kit that we stole. Wrong. Wrong. Does anyone have a health kit?
Oh, yeah, we got all kinds of stuff. But you also got me, the healer. I don't really want to give him one of our potions though, because our potions are pretty valuable.
Okay,
need
well,
them all the
if
time.
anyone has a health kit that I may borrow, I will sit and just chat with him and like start tending to his wounds, but not in a sexy way.
I have a healer's kit. I'll let you borrow.
Okay, thank you.
There you go.
Do I need to roll it? Can you roll it for me?
That just says healer's kit. I tried clicking on it. Nothing's happening.
Just make a medicine check, Brennan.
Nice.
Better than I thought.
Yeah. Some of the areas where the thorny cuffs have cut deeply into his wrists, they are showing signs of infection. It's a little pussy, a little inflamed and swollen. You do your best to sort of treat that, knowing that you can't remove the cause, so there will always likely be re-injury and infection. This is something that will have to happen probably every day as long as he continues to wear them. But he doesn't wince at all from the obvious pain he must be in. And you find that no matter what you do, he's always making like perfect eye contact with you.
Yeah, and I'll match his eye contact and I'll be like, it's interesting to me that in all of my travels, I've never kind of come across something quite like you. I'm like, I know I look young, but I've lived a lot of life in my young years. I'm intrigued by you. Do you have people? Do you have a tribe? Do you come from somewhere?
He says, "My dear, everyone comes from somewhere. Where I come from, there are few like me left."
I'm sorry to hear that. Sounds like you've maybe had a rough life.
Not more than most, I'm sure.
Do people often hunt you? Or entities, do they often hunt you?
Not often. Only when I put myself in the line of fire.
Well,
do you know what it's like to be hated just for being what you are?
Yeah, I'm a fucking woman, so yes. No, sorry, but in real life, in fake life, I'll just be like, I'm an orphan, and orphans are never.
He says that's why
I'm used to being the underdog.
That's why he's chosen you. He feels a kinship with you. That there's something wild about your soul that he sees in his own. The closest
I
to
don't always
kinship
play
he's
by the
experienced.
rules, that's for sure. I don't like being told what to do, and I don't often do what I'm told. Unless my sister tells me, Oni over there is my lifeline. Sorry used to be, but she's all weird now.
Having to adjust to change is challenging.
I do all right. I'm pretty adaptable.
That will serve you well in what's to come.
So if you're a druid, why didn't you just magic yourself out of that situation?
He asks if you know anything of druidism.
I only know of fireballs over there, and it's not so great.
He tells you the brief history of druidic circles and how druids got their power. they are connected to the natural world more than any other normal people are, to a point that they can actually draw power from the natural world to enact their own spells. But every druidic sect has a specific focus, a narrow avenue. Your friend over there, for example, belongs to the Circle of Wildfire, that believes that fire is not exclusively a destructive force, but a necessary force for recreation in life, that a forest can't be healthy unless it's periodically cleansed by fire. Fire shouldn't be feared, it's just a part of the cycle of destruction and rebirth. Every druidic sect focuses on the tenets of their circle. He says, however, his particular practice is not one widely recognized by druids any longer. It's considered taboo and unforgivable.
What does that mean? Do you use dark magic?
He says that he connects with nature in no different way than your friend Draco does. He draws only on the natural powers of this world. The people just do not like the effect he creates with it, and he shows his hands raising up. That's why they've bound me thusly. He wrings his wrist and tells you that these are cold forged wrought iron. They hurt, but iron has an additional effect on some people. It prevents the changing of shape.
You're gonna change into a flower.
You can shift your shape.
He says that is his study and his specialty, is to not be tethered to one human form, but to be mutable, to be protean, to be anything he desires.
Okay, well, I think that's really cool. Do you remember your original shape?
He doesn't. He has been so many things and so many people.
Ugh. That's really sad, dude. I didn't say dude, though. So too bold. I just feel like that is really sad, and I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you find yourself again someday. Maybe that's why they have you chained up, because you've forgotten who you are.
No, I was chained up here to die. To be stranded out literally in the middle of nowhere, stranded without friends, stranded without my power.
That seems like a really harsh way to kill someone. What did you do to piss off whoever you pissed off?
I refused to stop the practice. I refused to not teach new disciples. I refused to cajole.
They wanted your magic. Got it. And you wouldn't give it to them, so they got pissed. Yep.
And
people
whilst
being
they are silly, stupid, selfish, myopic people, they're not villains. None of them had the bravery to kill me outright. So they left me here.
And who did it?
He tells you that it was the druids, the druidic sects together acting as a unified body, exiled him here.
And you can find him as a family to help you?
Draco perks up when he hears about that. There is a monolithic structure in Heliopolis, and there's a smaller version of them mirrored all over the place. Large megalithic stone structures that represent the Circle of Seven, the 7 primary druid sects. Each appoint a champion, a archdruid, who is the most talented in their circle's magic and their practice. And this Circle of 7, this council, are the ones that captured and exiled him here.
Okay, that definitely catches my attention. We should. Wow. Can't really go against a sect like that, because that could be very bad for us. And if they wanted you dead, guys, we gotta toss them over. Toss them over. Get them out of here.
Your allegiance is gonna be to them. And I'll just say, okay, let's not get carried away. Maybe let's just take the night. He's chained up. He can't do his magic.
Hoppy, overboard. Toss him.
No.
Yes.
No.
I don't do that.
All right, then I get my fire ready.
He doesn't even remember what he looks like. Let's just give him a break.
No. He's done.
Oni, to your question, consulting the ruby yields only that the magic required to create those bindings is not insignificant. That a very powerful person went through a great deal of effort to bind this man, which makes you wonder how powerful he may or may not be. If you're strong enough to imprison something like this, was it because you couldn't kill him? Are they just cruel? Are they just cowards, like he said, and they didn't have it in their hearts to kill one of their own, so they just stranded him here without his powers, hoping that nature would do its natural thing? That no one can speak to, but what can be spoken to for sure is that the magic involved in creating these manacles that completely nullify druidic power is potent. And not something that the circle would easily,
seriously,
deploy.
Overboard now.
You're the one that took the dinghy out there to get him.
Exactly, and now I'm telling you that was a huge mistake.
Yeah, we rescued him.
You need to calm down.
He gets sanctuary.
Okay, I come at him with a. I grab like my dagger out and I come right at him. I'm going to go for him, going for the throat.
When he gets his dagger out, I'm literally going to wrestle him with the rope and be like, "You're being fucking stupid. Calm down, Draco."
I want to ask the Magic 8-Ball if we should kill this guy.
What the fuck is going on right now? Calm down.
Everyone wants to kill him, so I'm trying to see if that's like actually a valid thing to do or not.
As Draco, oh, that's funny.
You gotta roll. You gotta roll. Oh no.
Draco, you go to stab him, lunging. He does something surprising.
Oh my god.
And just rolls his chin back and offers you his throat. Like, he makes no effort whatsoever to resist your attack. It's that moment of like complete vulnerability, maybe, that like Renan almost reflexively sort of pushes him out of the way, or maybe puts herself in front of the dagger.
Causing me to trip.
Or maybe it's destiny, fate, or this guy's overwhelming power, but you completely miss. Like, it was to stab a completely prone person should be the easiest thing on earth, and you stumble, fall, your dagger falls into the stern or into the side rail of the ship. It slips, cutting your own hand, and you just come up. You wipe the sweat off of your face, and you don't realize it, but you streaked blood from your open wound all over the left side of your face, and you have a hard time prying the dagger out of the side rail. It was embarrassing and frustrating, but you couldn't kill a bound, unarmed man who was sitting on the deck. And in that moment, people wonder why that was.
Take a moment. Take a moment. I get it. I hear you, brother Draco. I know that if you are this passionate, serious about not liking him. But listen, it sounds like you wield some type of power that we don't understand yet, that not even fellow druids understood. Let's just take a moment and not start murdering people.
He needed. Honestly, that order doesn't do this lightly. He needs to go now.
And I think
Fuck.
We'll just pause it right here. I think this is a good spot to end it. Amon's asking the compass question. It's spinning. We'll get to its answer next week. Druid Man just looking at Renan for, either because he wanted his last gaze to be upon her, or he was counting on her intervening. Whatever it is, and that's how we'll end the scene for today.
There you go. That's a good way to end.
Sweet.
Uh,